Welcome to the Dirt Life Show with your host, George Hamill.
Yeah. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Happy Memorial Day to everybody. Thank you, all the servicemen and women, for making the ultimate sacrifice. Tonight's show, we have episode 131 of the Dirt Life Show. Man, it's going to be an awesome show for you guys tonight. Tons of cool things to talk about. Great guests. We are at the Vision Canopies shop with Kyle Ahrensberg. And right next to him is Eric Everly of Temp Media. And we got some other awesome guests that we're going to talk with tonight, like Katie Vernola is going to come on the show. We got Ken Johnson and one of your homies, Bryan Moore. Do it for B More.
B More will be on.
So thank you guys very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. I'm Georgie Hamill, the host of the Dirt Life Show. So we got the lines will be open. You guys can hit the share button. Hang out with us all night and let us know what kind of questions you have. We're going to talk about different stuff like basically like presenting yourself really well at the races, at the dunes, wherever you are with, branding and stuff like that. So that'll be pretty cool. We're going to talk with Eric a little bit about stuff that he's done in the past and videos and things like that. Ken Johnson's going to come on, talk a little bit more about that stuff. But the thing that I'm most passionate about that we're going to talk about is some racing. Baja 500 is going on right now. I think Eric's going to go down there. I just got back. I'll probably end up going this week. So it's going to be a really, really fun show. So any of you guys that want to ask some questions, just jump in and ask us anything you guys have for all of these guys. So, man, it's been cool, man. I've known you for just over a year now, I think, Kyle, and it's been cool to see and understand the things that you're able to do with the off-road community, and now you're really putting your passion towards racing. You've raced quite a bit in the past, and I'm just happy to have you on the show, dude.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's
put that mic a little closer.
Oh.
There you go.
That's better. It's been having some fun this year with getting in the cars and trying the new short course racing new to me short course racing, and that kind of been doing desert racing for a while and doing more of that now with.
And like venturing into side-by-sides instead of trucks and all that stuff. So it'll be cool to get a little bit more of your backstory, too. And, how do you know Eric?
Well, actually, Eric and I have known each other our whole lives. We were neighbors growing up since we were not talking.
Since you were wee lads?
Yeah. And, we've been super good friends, super close for my whole life, 34 years now. So...
Yeah, it's been a good run.
Yeah, it's been a good run. I'm sure there's been a lot of fun stories in between too.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's go through some of the. We're talking about sponsor stuff. Well, let's go through and thank some of our sponsors. First, I'd like to thank Vision Canopies for coming on board with the show. Really appreciate you, Kyle, and supporting the off-road community through the Dirt Life. I really, really am thankful that you want to be a part of it too.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us. We like being a part of it. It keeps us in the sport and. It's fun.
Yeah, and it helps everybody too, right? Like it helps us bring this broadcast to people, and it's people can ask questions and talk, and help with their program. So not only do I appreciate you being part of the show, but at least sharing your story as well, because it's going to help a lot of people. So thank you. Thank you to guys at KMC Wheels, EFX Tires. We really appreciate them coming on board since the beginning. Thank you to guys over at Motul. If you guys need any Motul products, Evolution Power Sports, another sponsor of the show, has oil change kits. You can get them for things like Kyle's race car back here, his desert car, for your car, your side-by-side, Man, those kits are so awesome because you can just pick out a kit that's relatable to your car and go and change your oil. It gives you the best products possible. So thank you to Motul and thank you to Evolution Power Sports for being part of the show. I want to thank the guys over at Zollinger Racing Products as well and the guys over at Shock Therapy. Hit up shocktherapyusa.com and go get yourself the Rad Improvement System, or tell them the Dirt Life sent you, or use the code DIRTLIFE at shocktherapyusa.com. Thank you to the guys over at Cryo Heat. I think Josh just joined us. So what's up, Josh? How are you? Thank you very much for being part of the show. If you guys need any of the Pro Mod transmissions, give them a call. Let them know that Dirt Life sent you. Those things reduce all kinds of weight and all kinds of drag in your UTV, which makes more horsepower, right, Kyle?
Absolutely.
So, get yourself a Pro Mod transmission or anything else that you need. They can also heat treat or do some work on your axles, CVs, all that stuff. So thank you very much, Josh, for being part of the show. You guys should share the show. You guys can always communicate with us anytime through YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, any of those channels. And if you're driving down the road, always hit up the shows on iTunes or Spotify. That way you can listen to the shows. Let us know what you guys want to hear, too, what you think we can do better. So we really appreciate that. All right, so today's show, we want to definitely throw a shout-out. Happy Memorial Day to everybody, like I said, that made the ultimate sacrifice. They're the ones that give us the freedom to be able to go out and do all this racing and all this fun stuff in the United States. So we really appreciate everybody that's in the armed forces who does it now and who's also made the ultimate sacrifice. Like I said, share the show. And let's see here. Oh, yeah. The Baja 500 is coming up this week. Are you going to go down there, Kyle, or you, Eric?
I'll be down there.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss this one. The schedule's been hectic lately, so
yeah. Have you ever done any pre-running down there, or you have raced it?
Yeah, we raced 1,000 last year, right after we got this desert car, and Nico and Katie prepped it in like 2 weeks, but super last minute, and
dude, for 1,275 miles.
Yeah, and we went. We had a really good run, and we had a stupid little part failure in the worst part of the course that held us back quite a few hours, but we got it going and got all the way to the finish. I mean, it was fun. I've done it quite a few times, and it was
pretty rough last year too. What's up, Eric Parkers? Thank you very much for the compliment. These are some rad dudes right here, so we're gonna get into some stories with these guys. Actually, let's talk about that because that's one of the first topics I want to talk about was the Baja 500. So, Eric, you usually go down there, kind of cover it with Temp Media, and tell us what you guys usually do.
Yeah, so all of the Toyo tires, Monster Energy content that you see, we produce. I also do all the helicopter coverage for BCII, for Scores TV shows.
Right on.
And all that stuff. So, kind of have a whole team down there, team on the ground, shooting pre-interviews, and I'm sure you guys are familiar with some of the content. You've seen the recap videos Toyo puts out every race, or a lot of the Baja races anyway.
Yeah, so Temp Media gets to touch a lot of that stuff. It's really cool.
Yeah, we have our hands in a lot of different things, a lot of irons in the fire, you could say.
Yeah.
We just try to kind of play chameleon, kind of fit in wherever we can, whether you need, small simple stuff or a full-blown production, we kind of try to facilitate.
Yeah, that's cool, though, because a lot of people do need that service. What's up, Joe? How are you? I got to talk to you about some projects that I would like to do with the Dirt Life. So thanks, Kyle, for lining that up, dude. I appreciate it. And so a little bit of the stuff that you do gets translated over to helping the off-road industry in general. And that's one of the connections that I would like to make today is like you bring light and you bring visibility to the off-road world, right? So if I want to go see a video, it actually exists now instead of like it used to be. It didn't.
Yeah, and I mean, we've been trying to forge the way with live production stuff. It's really difficult down in Mexico with connectivity. But obviously with like King of the Hammers, we help forge that whole live production, live helicopter stuff coming together.
Yep.
And then over the years, obviously with the Martellis and the Mint 400, been involved with a lot of that stuff, and kind of just the guy behind the scenes that nobody really knows. But the reason we push to have the higher quality content is because I'm passionate about it. I enjoy this. I love this. Kyle's dad's the one to blame for it. He's the one that got us all into it when we were kids, going out to Tierra del Sol and just going four-wheeling and having fun, and kind of turned into becoming our lives,
Yeah, it's well, just like what the show is. It's your dirt life, right? Like it ended up being that way. But I do think it's cool, and that's kind of the way that I think the show is going to have a lot of that kind of talk in it. Is you guys are so passionate and you guys do it now, but you don't do it just for yourself. Kyle doesn't do it just for himself. I mean, he races, but he does it to support the industry, and you do the same thing, right? And I think that's so valuable because the Dirt Life does the same thing, and I really like that vibe because it makes it so that our audience and the people that are listening to the show understand who is behind the scenes and who they can ask questions to as well.
100%. We the reason I got behind the filming thing was to vicariously live through all these race car drivers that, I don't have the budgets to.
Like Big Dog right here.
So, it's just kind of put yourself in what you're passionate about, and that's one of those you love what you do. You never work a day in your life,
Yeah, totally. And then so Kyle, you kind of had. I mean, you guys obviously grew up together, going to different off-road places and events and stuff like that. What was the time that you were like, oh shit, I really want to do this? Like, this is something I'm super into.
Oh man, since I was a little kid, I always wanted to do
Our
it.
whole lives.
Yeah, our whole lives. But it's just expensive to do, and it's hard. It's like the mindset is like, shit. If I want to do it, I gotta make a lot of money somehow to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
But
that gives you the drive, though, dude.
Yeah, it does. And so I worked in the industry a lot for a lot of years, and would do it a little bit here and there where I could afford it and stuff like that. And then as business progressed, was able to do it more and more and have more fun with it.
Yeah, totally. So we got another guest joining us. Hopefully you can hear us. Bryan Moore, what's up, dude?
Hey there.
So how are you doing, man? It's good to see you.
I'm good. I'm wonderful. I'm glad that Kyle.
Hey, so we just talked about technology, and we're using Kyle's Starlink setup over here. So we're giving our fingers crossed, keeping our fingers crossed that it all works out today. So hopefully we can have a good conversation with you. But if for whatever reason it doesn't work out, I'll just give you a call and we'll do it through the audio stuff. So all right. So how do you know these hoodlums?
I'm actually I'm business partner with Eric because and I try to get
Will you guys dial his phone number?
green arm.
No. Hey, Bryan, I think we're going to have to give you a call, man. So jump off Instagram Live and we'll give you a buzz, dude. I appreciate it. I wish we could see your face and do the video, but it doesn't look like we have enough bandwidth.
Elon, okay, I'll jump over.
Oh, wait, that's working good.
Yeah,
wait,
call Elon.
Let's try that.
We can FaceTime.
There you go. No, that's good. This is working good. Maybe it was just your phone placement. I don't know. Or Starlink is just hooking us up. But yeah, so you met these hoodlums how?
Oh.
Yeah, it's still not happening.
There we go.
All right.
It's calling him on his phone.
All right, cool. All right, Bryan, hang on one second. I'm just going to get you connected here. All right, bud? Hold on. So it's crazy how everything works out, though, right? Eric is like all of these things work out, and then you become business partners with Bryan, right?
Yeah, exactly. We used to. Remember when we were kids, and Kyle's dad used to volunteer for Mike Jolson, running Jeep speed stuff. So that was kind of, I think, our
Jeep speed stuff.
No, the old 1600 car to the 10 car to the 1 car.
Well, they were doing a Jeep. They had Jeep too.
Yeah. So why don't you guys tell us that story? So maybe something like one of your first memories in off road, then, Kyle.
Oh yeah, my dad used to go running it was like a class 3. It was the old Conejo off-road racing Jeep, the blue, yellow, red one. I think it was a class 3 or something like that. Had tons of horsepower, but no suspension. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, so it's short wheelbase, so they used to get to beat the snot out of that, or beat the snot out of themselves in that thing. And then, but going out to the old FUD races, and then going out, we grew up next to like Andy McMillan and, McMillan, so we used to go out there with them and go hang out with them. We grew up playing baseball with them and stuff like that, so we'd always get the...
Can hear now.
Nope.
Hello.
Oh. No, I hear you now.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, Bryan, what's up, man?
I'm switching over to AirPods. Hold on.
Sounds like he's running.
Yeah, there we go. So, all right, Bryan, tell us how you met these hoodlums.
Yeah, so I met Eric, Glen Helen. Well, there's a long story. Actually, I met 2 Erics. The first Eric, I met shooting Green Army content for Slime, which then introduced me to Eric. Or he told me about Eric, who then I met at Glen Helen.
That's Eric's.
Hey, there's a lot of Eric.
Tons of them.
When we were shooting, I was shooting stuff for Green Army at the time, and I had gotten my settlement. So, long story short, I had a really bad work injury, and I had gotten a settlement and decided that I was going to spend all my money on a camera that I had no idea how to use. And
I feel like that's the way it always works with us dang dirt guys, is we just throw ourselves in the fire.
Dude, totally, right? So, like, it's, and I had met Chris and Eric, they were filming Glen Helen. I don't remember who it was for.
We were shooting for the Impudias, Rodrigo.
Oh shit! Holy crap! Circle.
Yep.
So.
Crap, did we lose him?
No, it's me.
He's putting his earbuds in, probably.
Oh, is he?
No, we're here. He doesn't want to switch over. So, so anyway, yeah, I was filming for Green Army, and Eric had come up. He's like, "Oh, you have a red camera? Hey, I'll help you," because I had no idea what I was doing. And
big money guy with a red camera.
Yeah, like it was funny. Like, who the fuck is this guy? Just comes in and buys a
Come here,
camera.
buddy. Here's a little wing. Come on over here.
That's the way the racing community is, though. Not to interrupt you, Brian, but like you see all these dudes like coming out to the races, and they are just flexing so hard, and they get there and like, dude, how long have you been racing? Well, this is my first race, bro. And you're like, oh my god, you look so great, though.
Fake it till you make it.
And that's how it was, man. Like I mean, for no idea what I was doing. And I think we were all, especially Eric and Chris at the time, were like just at a very like they were again they're under their feet under themselves, and because they had previously worked for another company and it didn't work out, and they were like kind of fueled by the same thing I was. Where like, hey, people are like, you'll never fucking make it. Oops, sorry, I can't say F word. You'll never make it.
You can say whatever you want here. Fuck.
You'll never make it. And I think all of us have really been fueled by that. And at least for me personally, because I think I know we've all had doubters. And so we, coming up and even now, I think we've really used that to say, hey, you know what? Like, I may not be great at everything, but I'm great at a few things. And Chris and Eric Vlad, all of us together, we're all like vastly different. So we're all really like good in certain areas, and we take all that and we really kind of pool it together and make one great thing. I think that's very unique. I have no problem admitting we're a very dysfunctional family, but we've made it work very well. And I think that's why we've made it work so well, because we're so very different. And, but the one thing we all have in common is we're extremely passionate about the sport.
Yeah. Hard workers and passion. That makes everything better, though. That's not just, if you're cooking a hamburger, it still makes it better, right? Like
100%, and if you enjoy it, and that's the thing, I think like, there's a guy told me like the difference between good and great is just that little bit. And I think because we love it as much as we do, we always want to be great.
Yeah, totally.
So it's, and then that's the thing. Like we've been very fortunate. We've worked on, some very big projects, ones that obviously like, I never thought we would do. And so, it's been
ones
fun.
That just don't work.
But you kind of wing it and make it work. So, Kyle, like, you can probably get along with what he's saying right now, though. You probably are pretty proud to see your friends do all this stuff.
Oh yeah. Well, it's just crazy how it all comes back around, and the stuff we used to talk about is
stuff we've done together too, like the Adrian Cheney barrel roll.
Oh yeah,
dude, that was so gnarly. I still don't understand how that worked out.
We put that whole deal together. That was basically one day I got a phone call from Kyle saying, "Hey, we're gonna go drive out to Arizona and meet this guy that's barrel rolling a car." I'm like, okay, let's go.
That's freaking bananas. I don't know who the comment was, but it said, "Thank you, Be More, for all the support."
Oh, cool. I can't see video anymore, but that's cool.
Yeah, we got about 16,000 monitors over here. You know the way it goes. But yeah, so you having the opportunity to do all that stuff with the guys has probably been pretty cool. Have you done any projects with Kyle?
We haven't. Well, I personally am trying to think. Have we actually done anything? The fact is, we're all like it is. We all are all friends. Actually, we did. Well, we had the Cheney roll, which was
yeah.
I mean, the fact like here's the thing. Like, what's crazy to think about that is like. We literally that year we did that. We actually happened to park we had our temp trailer literally at the start finish of the Baja 1000. Like we were front and center, like crazy, right? Like, and so Kyle had brought this to us, like say, hey, this Adrian wants to do this crazy barrel roll, and we were in the position to basically go to Roger Norman and say, hey, this is like we want to do this, and he let us do it, which was. Hindsight, you look at it, like I cannot believe you pulled it.
Yeah, the police weren't so happy about it right before.
Try finding a forklift to drive down the wash moments before. Yeah.
So the logistical portion of it was even sketchier than the actual ground.
Oh, people were hopping over the fence and coming and picking up the fences and walking in, and we literally were able to get everyone far enough, and it was like go, and he did it, and it was not the safest thing.
Dude, that's bananas. I didn't know that.
Yeah. People were picking up the fences and walking in and hopping over, and it was a mess. And Roger was kind of
He didn't know what he got
Yeah,
his hands.
yeah,
I think he would have rather it not happen.
Yeah, at that point, but it was too late.
Yeah. Adrian was there and ready.
Yeah.
Thank goodness that you guys have made it all happen, though, because I was so amped when I saw it. I was like, no freaking way.
I think that was finally his 36th attempt or something like that. He built a tire pit and was training to do it for many moons before.
In a tire pit, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like how motocrossers do it in the
foam pit? Yeah, he made out of tires. Seems super safe, right?
Yeah, Olympic size.
Wait, so, Bryan, was this the first time he did it to dirt?
Second or third.
Or first clean time,
there, but it was the first clean time. Yeah, the rest of the times it was total whack.
The body wouldn't stay on, and it was pretty wild.
Who's the one that handles all the I don't know what you call it, like the science behind that, the acrobatics behind that, or you guys just say fucking pin it?
Kind of us. No.
Adrian is the leader of his own circus.
I mean, you met Adrian. He's very much like, let's just try it, and then whatever is messed up, we'll try to fix it.
So, dude, okay, so there's two crazy things that really like hit me with this is like, first of all, you guys know some pretty awesome people, like some pretty amazing people, right? The cool factor is high with your friends, but you guys also get to share those experiences together because of your off-road mindset and the passion that you guys have. What do you think, Bryan?
100%. I mean, I can't say what we were shooting last week, but I was with Ken Block last week, shooting some stuff for he's got coming out, and like it really, I'll say like we were in this mirror house, and like I'm just staring at the mirror house on the outside, looking at my reflection, like, man, like this is my job. I'm with someone who really kind of pushed me to get into filming, because that's just the truth. Like when Gymkhana 1 came out was when I got hurt, and I was like, man, filming would be kind of cool. I had to do a
Come on, let's be real. Adrian Cheney was way more inspirational. Because if you go online, the sequel to his barrel roll was actually hanging him under a helicopter and him surfing clouds.
Oh,
in the
dude,
sky.
he told me about that. Still to this.
Happy Socks. Go on Happy Socks YouTube page.
Oh my God!
Surfing.
Still to this day, I still cannot believe that story. I have a conversation. Like if anybody tells me, dude, I want to do this, I go on to skydive, I'm like, you have no idea the level that dude is at.
Well, you have no idea what the
He'd never flown a parachute the day before we left.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Oh yeah. We had to rush him. Go buy a secondhand parachute so he could jump out of a helicopter.
Dude, the stuff that you guys get the opportunity to do is still mind-blowing to me. And that's because, like I said, who your friends are, because you're so passionate about off-road.
We were blowing stuff up the day before with Dan Blazarian.
What'd you say, Bryan?
Well, it's just like I was saying, it's like great because our golden Rolodex of friends, like, I never thought I would be shooting these projects. It was never part of the plan. Like, I just thought I was going to, like, kind of make some money on the side. And I look at things that, like, now, like I said, I'm looking at this mirror house. I'm looking at myself. I'm looking at who I'm with. And it's like, holy shit. Like, it's just kind of a surreal moment because it's like, you never think that these things are going to be a thing, And I think it is just a proof of like, hey, you putting in the work and the effort,
all how you present
and going the extra mile and having the passion, and it all pays off.
That's good. Well, thank you very much, Eric.
Get a canopy.
Yeah, so thank you very much, Eric, for bringing it full circle. So you do have a good point, though. It is really how you present yourself, right? Like, so you guys get these opportunities because you're presenting yourself and being educated about what you're doing. You're working hard and you're doing all these things, just like Kyle is in his race program. But it does kind of go back full circle. And this is not a sales show, but you do help people do that with your business, Kyle.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Vision Canopies actually allows other people to have that opportunity.
Right, and I try to be as good an example as I can on it. It's definitely a tool that will help people.
So for anybody that doesn't know, Kyle has a company that's called Vision Canopies. Like I said at the beginning of the show, they're a supporter of the Dirt Life, so we want to support them. Kyle gives back a lot to the off-road racing community, but he can also help you by just allowing you to purchase a product from him that has branding on it. So if you go to the at Vision Canopies social media page and check it out, you can kind of get some examples of other people that have done it. Who are some of the people that, I know that Ken Johnson is you, Andy McMillan.
We're doing some stuff with Andy this year. That's going to be really cool and new and like that no one's really done yet.
Cool.
Temp Media Canopies.
Temp Media, we got them. Katie Vernola. We got Vision Wheel.
There's a lot of people that use your guys' products. So
it's growing pretty quickly.
Definitely go check it out, and make sure that you tell them that Dirt Life sent you over there so Kyle can track it, because that's how good things work when it happens, right? But yeah, so you can actually brand some of that stuff. What are some of the coolest canopies, in your opinion, that you've ever done? Has there been like a camo one, like a plaid one, like any cool design? Unicorn one? I'm a big unicorn guy right here. Taco one.
Yeah, I mean, I really like all my old race stuff was extremely bright. I'm a big fan of bright stuff, but we did one for Lewis Chamberlain for his RC car stuff that was pretty awesome. It was so bright. And
like fluorescent colors?
Oh yeah, it was. It looks pretty cool. We did a fast line one for him.
That's pretty cool.
And, it's on the Instagram.
Yeah, we were walking to the pits at the AMA race a couple days ago.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, yeah, those Suzuki ones. Yeah, the guy got to me late. Like,
nice.
3 days, got them done.
Yeah, actually, Ken hooked me onto that one.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So
just knock it out as quick as you can. Cali Boy AZ text said he's saving up for one. He needs one for his program. So, dude, there's a guy sitting right here that you can give a call.
Yeah, absolutely. Call me up and we'll set you up.
And Greg Kelly Racing says, let's see here. We can't wait to get our Vision Canopies. You may know Greg Kelly Racing on.
Yep.
We got Heli Jim in.
Oh, nice. Hey, Jim.
Just joined us too. What's up, Heli Jim? So you guys can get your canopies there. So please support the people that support the Dirt Life Show, and go check out some of their stuff that they have. So, all right. How did that even start, though, actually? So you're out here, like, living the off-road life, and you're just like, I need a way to pay for it?
No, I mean, I was working with Adrian and doing stuff, and then we were doing racing, and, it's always looked nice when you have a canopy and you see people with their custom canopies and stuff like that, and then you go try to get one done, and it was just difficult. Like, the process just seemed difficult. It was extremely expensive. So I just worked really hard finding a way to do it easier at a more cost-effective way, so people that wanted it could have it. You didn't and it's not to the people that just absolutely needed it. It was the people who wanted it could
afford it and could do it. Yeah, and I like that too, because that means that you're open about thinking about stuff in a different way, right? And that really lends itself to being a better person, a better racer, a better businessman. It really affects everything in your life, right? Like, because you're able to understand what people want around you.
Yeah, and you're always gonna. Yeah, I mean, if everything, in my mind, there's a want and need category. If you need something, I mean, no matter what it costs, you just got to buy it. But there's that want category, and if you could place a product like this in a want category, it's going to be more people are going to be able to use it.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so a couple other things that I wanted to talk about was a little bit about like the Baja stuff and the racing stuff. So when you decided that you wanted to go racing, how old were you? You remember? Because you were quite a bit younger, right? I don't mean that like you're old now. I mean like you were doing it from a young age.
The race. I was always trying to race with other people and go to races and help out where I could and stuff like that. But I mean, I've wanted to do it.
Did it start on two wheels or four wheels?
Four wheels mainly. Yeah, did some motorcycle stuff when I was younger. Just going out to the desert and stuff like that, and was always into it. But I mean, we've always talked about it for as long as I can remember. I don't even know.
BMX.
Racing BMX. Just anything we could do to race and have fun.
Who was better?
I don't know.
Did you guys switch it up? One person won one day, one person won the other day?
I think we were more competitive with paintball.
Yeah, paintball. Everyday paintball.
Big paintball guys. Bryan, did you know they were big paintball guys?
What's funny is that I was never a paintball guy, and I know the owner of one of the biggest paintball freaking companies in the world now, and I'm like, it's funny now because Eric's like, hey man, why don't you call those guys up and get some stuff? He's still a fucking paintball nerd, 100%.
Hey, that guy.
Really?
Yeah.
Paintball's fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
All right, so you guys got to give me did you guys have huge battles or what?
Oh, we had our own field.
Yeah, we had our own field. We'd bring out the 5 foot tall nitrogen tanks out there. I mean, it was crazy. Because
you're talking about
because kept it pretty serious for us.
Yeah, my dad would come out there with us.
Really?
We were doing it a few times a week throughout the week after work. We had spools out there. I mean,
because I know zero about paintball, so all I can see is you guys running through this makeshift army setup, and trying to blast each other.
Yeah, doesn't it sound fun?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it does sound kind of fun. As I said it, I was getting kind of hyped on it.
Yeah, luckily our street had a lot of kids that were all aged and boys.
We all knew what we were all getting for Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. So
Really? Does it hurt really bad?
It wasn't too
Yeah, it
bad.
does not feel good. Not
All right, I'll take Brian's advice on this
Depends
one.
on where you hit.
Yeah.
It's like, if you get hit
And
below the belt.
How nice your friends are if they keep shooting that they stop.
Or someone starts freezing paintballs. Like,
No, yeah.
What does that mean? Freezing paintballs? Oh, just like
so they don't break.
they don't break. It's like getting hit with a rock.
like literally freezing them.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, no, I would not want that.
Is
there dudes that do that?
Yeah, bad friends.
yeah.
Those are like the guys that are always taking the cheater lines out on the race course.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Exactly.
Not a fan of those guys. All right, so we were talking a little bit about the Baja 500. I'd like to get back to that. So now that
One of our buddies, he used to wear catcher's gear.
Yeah. Eric Burkett, yeah, I remember him.
wait, he's the free the
He
one
would
that
wear
freezing.
no. When we'd go play, he'd show up and he'd be wearing like a catcher's outfit from baseball.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a really good idea because there's all kinds of padding.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you still run around decent with that though?
Just made him an easier target for us.
Oh, really? Because he's all slow. All right. So, when was the time that you decided, like, okay, like I want to go race in Mexico or I want to go race short course? Like, because that's a pretty monumental task as far as like resources, dedication of time, like everything.
Yeah. So shoot, it's 2000, the 50th, or no? I mean, I raced a couple times before the 50th. The 50th was like 50th Baja 1000 was like the first one. I was like, okay, I want to go do this like right.
Dude, way to pick the worst course ever.
Yeah, yeah.
It seems to be the way we like to do it.
Yeah.
And so for anybody that doesn't remember, the 50th Baja 1000 was like massive, massive rainstorms before and just washed out the whole thing.
Yeah. Oh no, I think that was
Or the 500?
51st.
Yeah.
I think that was a
Next year.
51st.
Oh, did I get them wrong then? Oh,
Yeah.
It was
okay.
the next year.
Yeah, the 50th, and then we had a set up or plan. It didn't go great. I mean, it went good till it didn't, I guess. Like, but it's like
You were in the trophy light, right?
it was in the trophy light, and that thing is it was very hard to get through a lot of areas just because it's way underpowered, way under tire size.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be a pretty gnarly one to
Yeah.
drive all the way down.
Yeah, so I mean, it was it was really tough, but it's just that one that I took serious really made me think about like, man, Mexico is so much harder. And it's just so much different than the States racing, which we're already doing. Like States racing, I feel like it's designed for you to finish the race, and you race amongst each other. Like Mexico, like you really have to try to just finish first, and then happen to race. So like it changed my whole strategy a lot year to year, and we had a lot of failures with stuff jumping aboard other teams and stuff like that. And then with this one,
That makes you learn a lot, though, doesn't it?
yeah, you learn a lot. And then with this last year's 1,000, Rick Johnson, we were at the UTV World Championship. Rick Johnson came up and like it was not very far before, and was like, "We should race 1,000 in this thing." And I was like, "Oh crap, maybe."
Really?
And a couple days later, it's like we decided to race 1,000, and Nico and Katie had a full brand new car to change a bunch of stuff on and prep and everything.
Uh-oh, we lost B more.
But yeah, and then we did it, and we had a great car, and it was a lot of fun, and we made it the whole way down, which is like amazing. That was I don't know.
Dude, so that was what, 1,275 miles, right?
12:27. So I'm not sure if it's the longest, but if it wasn't the longest, it was right there.
Yeah, it was pretty far, dude.
Yeah.
And that track was brutal. Like there was
was
so
bad.
many freaking, and at the end it was like a real kick in the junk because there was like 10 miles of whoops before you got to the finish line.
Oh, yeah, I mean, and then going up through the hills, like going before you drop down to the pause, it was. It was really, really hard. Like I hopped back in for the end section, thinking it was going to be like, all right, we're just going to go and get to the finish, and that was a big understatement. Like,
Dude,
it was so tough that lasted a little bit, but it felt really good to get across the finish line.
did it make it so that you really liked to race in Baja? Because I feel like that's like, well, I guess we already said it, like getting thrown in the fire like times 10.
Yeah. I mean, it absolutely is the best place to race, I think.
Did you get to go down there and experience this with them, Eric and Bryan?
So I was in the helicopter doing all the TV show stuff. So helicopter can't fly at night. So I get to become a pumpkin. So as soon as the sun goes down, we go on the ground and sit. So We were, I think, that year at old Rancho Relaxo. Our friends got a nice compound there on the beach just north of Vernola.
Dang, that sounds nice.
Yep.
Relaxo.
Yeah. So.
It is relaxing.
So we passed by that place a couple times this week too.
Yeah. So I was on the internet just watching, and I saw when Kyle was stuck, and you go to bed and you're like, man, I hope they wake up, and obviously they were moving, so that was good to see. But you're just essentially kind of a spectator at that point.
Yeah,
I think that's
totally.
the coolest thing about off-road is all of your spectators essentially can just tune into your race specifically, and that's, I think, how the majority of the audiences are for each team. It's their own little viewership essentially that's watching their mission, right?
Yeah, totally. I know like tons of people that have 16 screens going, right? And they all have like their guys, and they have the overall race, and then weatherman, and like all this crazy stuff. We just had a comment come through, Kyle, and I don't know who said it because it went through pretty quick, but they said that you guys did great at that Baja 1000. So that's cool.
Oh yeah, thank you. It was tough, and like we did the BFG pit meeting. I think it was like the Thursday, like the week before, and their main thing was like, whatever on the 1,227 miles, don't get stuck in this 5-mile section, the tractor trail. And we got stuck right in the middle of that 5-mile section. Out of 1,227 miles, we had the part failure right there. So it was like very difficult to try to get the part to the car to fix it. And that was like, other than that, I mean, it was pretty much a great run, flawless run down there. But it was just like that one little hiccup, and that's what'll get you in Mexico. It's like that one little thing.
Yep.
But then you have the opportunity in Mexico to try to save your race, which is nice. Like the U.S. races are so tight. If you're down for an hour, a lot of times you can't get back in and finish.
Yeah, I was going to say that same thing too. It's less of an endurance race and more of a sprint, right?
Totally, yeah, more of a sprint.
What makes it better for you guys? Do you guys like the sprint races when you do the media stuff, you and Bryan?
I don't know. What do you think, Bremore?
I think that, the Peninsula runs have been nice. I don't know. Last year was dope. I don't know.
I think it makes it nice to not chase. Because you have individual teams, because you separate it. Like, okay, this team can only get this section. That's what you're going to do, and then you're done. Whereas, like, when it comes to the loop race, it's like, well, you can get them here and then just take a little break, but then you can get them over here, and then you can get them over here. So now you're on a 27-hour day.
Yeah,
I don't envy those guys. In the helicopter, after we wake up at Rancho Relaxo, get our nice breakfast on, we go flying by them, and a lot of times we'll stay out at Punta Banda, just south of Ensenada. And it's, every time we go flying by them, they just all look like they're like, kids that just got out of a rave. And they're all standing on the beach and they look like zombies. And we go flying by. It's like, they haven't slept all night.
But they're so into it, right? John Huppert said, that was rad when the guys in the RS1's Iron Man did. Did you see that?
That was
Dave Cole and all those guys.
That was impressive.
Those guys are gnarly, dude.
Yeah,
I think we were talking to Dave Cole. We were doing some Bronco stuff up at his place, and I think he said his plan was to do the first 600 miles, get a hotel room, while his guys completely rebuild the car, and then get back in and go.
Yeah, the plan didn't work out as planned, but it was still a good plan.
You were in on that, right? You had one of those, or
no? I just tried to help David Clay and like help promote it all because I thought it was such a cool little effort. So we got them some sponsors and kind of got them lined up. So it was cool. All right, so let's kind of go back to some of the things that maybe the audience has questions about. Like, so you being on the media side and Kyle being on the racer side in this instance, or for this statement, is what can racers do better to help themselves with their media?
I mean, everybody needs nowadays, everybody has basically a tab on you at all times. Right, so you need to feed.
So, like, if I'm a new racer, somebody's always looking at me, kind of thing, or they can always check on.
That's where it comes to how do you present yourself at the races, right? If you show up with a full Vision Canopies setup that just blows away everybody else's,
that's got Dirt Life on it, looks all good.
Like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
It's keeping up with the Joneses. And I think that's kind of the MO that most of your Southern California dirt enthusiasts, or like that's kind of the MO, right? Is like, Barbara's mom or whatever comes home with a new Escalade. Like, what's Billy's mom got?
That's true, right?
So that's the whole how you present yourself. If you have a good presentation, then let alone you can go out and you can perform, people are going to talk about you. The more that people talk about you, the more you're going to get exposure. The more exposure, hopefully that's good exposure, not bad exposure. I don't think was it Justin Barsha made very many friends at the races last Supercross race.
Guy.
But that's his Bam Bam. That's what he did.
Yeah, but he also has fans that are with him too. What's up, Emore?
So you got to look at it as like a baby, and the only way the baby's going to grow is if you feed it. So you have to feed the like when it comes to the content side of it, you got to keep putting out content to feed the baby so it can grow. That's the way we've always looked at it. It's like, it's the more feed your following. People want to see like what who you are, what you're about. Like, and the thing anymore is like good, kind of doesn't matter what the content is at this point. It doesn't always have to be polished stuff. Like a lot of it can be just, really raw. People like that raw being, getting that connection with the racer or whoever it is, they want to kind of be a part of that. And it's that's kind of the biggest thing is just keep on pushing and feeding and feeding and posting, because that's what sponsors want, right? They want to get they want people to see that. They want their product out there. They want, they want to see that this person's putting forth effort. And then you can go back to your sponsor and say, hey, look, I'm putting this out. This is the numbers that I'm getting. This is what I feel that I'm worth. And then you can obviously go back and forth there.
I will make a strong suggestion, because this has been something that's upsetting me a lot lately, is stop with the self-promotion stuff. Like, you don't need to be promoting yourself as a promoter for whatever you're doing. Just be yourself. Like, that's all you got to do.
100%.
Just be yourself, man. And if people want to gravitate towards it, cool. Like, I mean, if I was in middle school, I wouldn't be friends with everybody. I'd be friends with a couple people that are really nice to me, and I was nice to them, right? Like good friends, just like you guys were when you guys were younger too. You know what I mean? So I think that's fantastic advice, Be More.
Yeah, I mean, we generally stick to obviously the more polished content because that's just what we enjoy. And, but there is a time and place for that. There's like you see a lot of the stuff that's being going around, there is just a lot of randomness that gets put out, but there's like you look at someone, like we'll put something out that like Monster or Toyo's put a bunch of money behind, and then someone that literally just pulled their cell phone out and gets a dummy almost rolling over, get run over, and it gets, 40 times the traction. So it's just it's kind of all over the place when it comes to that. And then obviously you got to deal with the algorithm, and that's always a battle. Like that's something we struggle with because it's like, that's kind of not part of our business, which is,
I don't even want to get into that part of it because that stuff's getting a little too technical. And
it is. It's way too much.
I think our audience would just like the baseline stuff because really, I mean, like, you brought up a good thing before the show, Eric, because you were talking about like Axel Hodges, and he would be the first one to admit, I just was filming myself with my cell phone when I got popular, and he had 1 million followers with a cell phone, right?
Yeah, exactly. I think nowadays, like people's attention spans become so much shorter, and a lot more, like you said, people are looking for a way to vicariously live through, someone else that they aspire to be, right? Or they want to do. Like I got into filming because I aspired to want to be a race car driver, right? So I could vicariously live through all these people through the camera. Well, nowadays you're feeding that following, and everybody that's watching Andy McMillan stuff or Bryce Menzies, you want to be that guy. Like, how bad?
Whenever I see Kyle stuff, I'm still pissed because I want to be out there racing with him.
That's unfortunately, I don't have the best track record, so I don't know if Kyle's going to be letting me drive it. I got into racing this year, and
you like it though?
I do. I love it. It's a whole new challenge, and I think that's what it's all about, is just challenging yourself to progress at something. And whether that was the media or, I always did the media in order to try to become the racing, and now I've tried to do a little bit of racing this last year, and but I have beat Kyle the last 2 races that we raced.
Dude, that's awesome. Wait, hold on a second. That's perfect. Hey, so Eric, we're going to get Ken Johnson on here in just a second. You got anything else you want to say? Throw a shout out before you dip out?
I mean, just whatever you're passionate about, just go for it. It's right. And teamwork makes the dream work. It's funny, you were talking about different business models and stuff earlier, and I'm sitting here looking at this tripod. And we kind of have a dysfunctional one because we have 4 legs, but that just makes us even stronger. It's, when a tripod goes to fall over, it needs a leg to fall on.
That's true.
You can't do it all by yourself. You need a solid team in your corner. And, that's what Kyle's got going on here with Nico and Katie and the whole shop, and now what he's doing with Vision Canopy and promoting yourself and how you look. And essentially we have worked with the best of the best guys in the industry. And most of the videos you've seen where you think, wow, that guy's the best at the best of the best. When you become a professional, you can work with the best of the best across the board. So just become a professional at whatever you're passionate about.
And you got to start somewhere too. Like, just make sure that you're making the right decisions on the way up. We always tell everybody life is just a sequence of choices, right? So try to make those little choices really count and make those little things matter. So Wyatt Hastings just chimed in, and he's such a sponge to all this stuff. He watches all the shows, and he's really cool because he will come back and say, hey, you know what? I learned a lot tonight. I'm going to do this for my program, right? So I think those little tiny things like what Wyatt's doing will make a big difference in 10 years from now, what he's doing in a race car.
100%. You got to water the grass, or it'll never grow.
Yeah, exactly. You want to stay on, be more for Ken Johnson, or you got to dip out?
I'll say hi to Ken. It's been a minute.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Thank you very much, man.
Dude, yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
I
man.
appreciate it, man. Good having you.
Oh yeah. Good.
Yeah, so like we're talking about now, though, is like just surrounding yourself with good people, right? Like you've known Eric since you were a little guy, right? And now he's able to really give you knowledge on different things, and you guys learn together. Like it's so cool for me to see that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome. And like he went in the media direction fully, and it's just cool being able to pick his brain off stuff. And
Yes, you can call him up and ask him a question about how you can better your program or how you can help him, whatever it is, right? All right, well, welcome, Ken Johnson, dude. It's been a little while. It's been, 2 weeks since we talked to you on the show?
At least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I just seen this guy over the weekend. What's up, B-More? What's happening?
How are you, buddy?
Oh, good, man. Good.
Well, it's cool to have all you guys on the show. I really appreciate all you guys taking the time. I wanted to throw a shout out because we didn't get to at the beginning of the show to Cecil for cooking us such amazing food before the show. So thank you, Cecil, for doing that. Cecil, if you want to come over here and wave to the camera, you can. I'll get you on over here. Just give us a big old wave over here. Look at that guy right there. There you go. Wave to everybody.
That Wagyu tomahawk was insane.
Yeah.
And not to mention how crazy that Wagyu tomahawk steak was, but it was probably the size of, I don't know, my whole body.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and yeah, right? And the bone was like a femur bone, like, man, it was gnarly. It was
I'm a massive fan of chimichurri sauce. So I like tacos, and we already had a question about where the best tacos were. If anybody wants to give me some chimichurri sauce put on those tacos, Cecil's the guy. All right, so we were kind of talking about, I don't know if you heard all the stuff we were talking about, Ken, when you were over there, or if you were actually performing duties on social media to better your program.
No, I heard.
Yeah, look at that. Cecil with the
that's all.
sauce, dude. Hey, so B-More, I don't know if you were watching, but Cecil just gave me some sauce right now, dude.
It's a little delayed. I'll see it here in a second.
Okay, perfect. So we've been talking about how you better your program, right? How you have good branding at the track with, like the Vision Canopies and stuff like that. But it's not just that, right? There's a lot more that goes along with it.
Yeah, man. Going back to the branding, I mean, it's simple. You can start off with, a canopy, sky flags, table covers. Branding and imaging is important, right? You don't want to go to the track and look like the Beverly Hillbillies, right? I mean, that's not going to attract any sponsors at all. You definitely want to have the best vision, best image that you can have, that you can afford. And again, just being able to take that budget, like everyone has a race budget, right? Take some of that budget, 10% of that budget, right? Put it aside and get the things you need, right? Whether it's...
Well, look at it from the monster side of it, dude. Like, let's say they sell a can for $1. I bet they're spending 70 cents of that on marketing.
That's a good point.
Exactly.
Yeah, and going back, taking it back to Lucas Oil, I remember Forrest would spend 30%. I want to say he was spending 30% of his money, right, for marketing, and it was incredible, right? What Lucas Oil did in the short time, right, over the 20 years. Actually, it's been 30 years now, but man, it's been incredible, And again, he put money back into the brand, and same with you, Kyle. I know that you do the same thing. You take, a large percentage of your profits and drop it right back in, whether it's sponsorship, racing, whatever it may be. It's all about, right, reinvesting into yourself, right? It's not, I'm going to reinvest and buy another motor or this or that. It's like, hey, reinvest into yourself.
I think the way that Kyle's doing it is actually really good because he's got his race program, right? But he's doing it in a way that helps other people too, right? He'll give discounts to sponsored racers that he has to help them and market better. And then, he's investing in operations like the Dirt Life, which is a really cool program for me because that means that he's giving back and we're able to give back to the people that are listening and the audience and stuff. So there's a lot of creative stuff that happens with Vision itself.
Right.
I think it's super cool.
Right.
All right, so we had a couple people. Josh LaHaye commented in, KJ, hi Cecil. That's pretty cool.
What's up, Josh? Yeah, he's a solid guy, man. I've known that guy. Probably it's been 20 years that I've known that guy. Even Pete from Got Sand is crazy to think back. It's been 25 at least plus years, and that guy sold more T-shirts than Metal Militia and Billabong combined, probably.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy, right? We were actually talking about it before the show. Is that Pete? A lot of people don't know is from the town that I was born in, and so we have a lot of friends that are associated with us because of that too. It's crazy.
Oh, wow.
And the off-road industry was really small back then. We were talking about mud bogs. That's how far back it went.
Wow.
All right. So, Be More. You remember the first time you met Ken?
Yeah, with Lucas Oil when he was running. I was wondering what Ken did. I was like, what does Ken do? Because I know we were shooting the Lucas Oil races, and like he was all over the place. And I'm like, what does Ken do? And then coming to find out, Ken did all the things, man. Like, and that's what's cool because honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. It was years where I was like, I don't know what Ken does. Like, he wrangles.
Man,
he like.
I didn't even know.
It was
what
so
Ken
funny.
did, dude. I just freaking was there.
Make it happen.
I remember there was conversations that Ken and I had during the Lucas Oil days. It'd be like, so what's going on today? He goes, I don't know. I just showed up. Hopefully I can help.
Oh man.
But
it's cool to.
Go ahead.
I was just say it's cool to see because Ken now he's the guy. I mean, he really gets it. Like, it's funny. I still call him and kind of pick his brain. It's been a while, but like there's times where I call him like, hey, what do I do? How do I do this? Like, what do you think? And he's like always been super helpful. I think Ken's really underestimated by people, and I don't think I think people don't realize what Ken does. But I just, I think you're very, very well on the back end, really know how to make this work. And if there's anyone, when Ken opens his mouth about advice, you should really shut up and listen because he really gets it.
So basically he's saying you're a silent assassin, dude. That's what he's trying to get.
100%.
I appreciate Be More. And it goes back, man. It goes back to, and I learned from everyone out there, man. It's all about being a great person, right?
Yeah.
Just if I were to give any advice to anybody, like, hey, how do I get a sponsorship? Man, be a good person.
That's
right?
it.
I mean, that's it.
100%.
And be yourself.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. And again, if you're a bad person, don't be yourself, but be a good person, right? So,
Yeah.
so going back, man, Be More has always been an awesome person. Everyone here has been a great person. So just be a great person. That would be my step number one. Number two, look around, right? I mean, I'm looking at. I put a couple notes together, right? Like Deegan's, they do it well, right?
Right.
They do it well. They get it. They get the content. They got the imaging, the branding, the whole deal. They got the whole package, right? And Bryan it's pretty awesome. His vision is so long. And I remember Haley's first race. she raced one of the races I produced, M4SX, way back, and she raced her trophy car. And again, it was, he's like, man, Haley's going to be the next one. She's going to be a big deal. And
man, I remember being in the spotter's booth. Deegan was so intense in the spotter's booth. That guy was insane.
Yeah.
yeah,
But that's because he's so passionate about it, right? I think
100%.
Steve, Living the Dream Helos, is trying to join us right now. Steve, we don't have enough bandwidth to be able to do the lives today, so sorry, man.
and Stevie, another rad dude, man. He's been rad since day one. That's another guy probably known for 30 years.
Yeah.
He's responsible for
Passionate about it too,
right? I mean, he's well underestimated, man. The stuff that he's done in the past, but thinking back and looking like the Birdies, right? When they first came into racing, their imaging and branding always was great, right?
Yep.
I mean, even if they didn't have a sponsor, they still look great. He had American flag. This is actually a DeBerti hat, And again, branding and imaging was important. We could look back at the Wellers. They didn't have the most money, but again, their branding and imaging was always great. They got the Optima sponsorship because of their image, right? And the way they projected themselves. Sarah Price. And going back to the people that have money, there's people that have a lot of money that don't get it, right? And there's people that have money that get it.
Yep.
The Menzies get it, right? Stronghold, when they did their deal, they get it.
One thing that I want to say about all that stuff is the same glue or conduit holds for all those people. Whether they have money or not, they work their butts off.
Yep.
Like, they are really hard workers, and they always have hustle, right? No matter who it is. And that's one of the things that I think anybody from the audience can take home with them, just like Kyle does every day, just like Be More does, just like Eric does, just like you do, Ken. If you work hard and you have a plan, most of the time it'll work out if you focus on it.
That's two ingredients, right? Work hard and be a good person.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So, hey, so when was the first time that you actually met Kyle? Do you remember?
Oh man,
Was it a long time ago?
Man, you know what? It was with Chenny, way
Yeah.
back, and man,
Back in the Lucas Oil days.
Yeah, and talking about working hard, man. He was the hardest working guy through, working for Chenny, and managing that program. I mean, it was a lot of work, and he was up there setting the canopies up. He was out there laying the mats down, getting everything dialed in, and again, he probably didn't have to do it. They had enough money to pay someone else to do it, but Kyle was out there doing the work.
Yeah, and you probably learned a lot during that time too, right?
Yeah, I learned a lot. And one thing with Adrian's program, kind of there's not much of a job description for anybody, so everyone kind of does everything, kind of gets fallen in. So, yeah, we were out there, we'd set up, we'd tear down, we'd run around. Like, Ken would always see me just running around the pit, pulling out my hair pretty much, I think, all the time.
Oh, wait, I got one question. Did you wear boots or flip-flops? Because I've never seen you with anything other than flip-flops.
It was flip-flops, yeah.
I can't remember any boots there. It doesn't matter.
Big flip-flop guy over here.
He's on vacation all the time, but working.
Okay, so I think another thing we should do, be more for Kyle's branding, is maybe get like a flip-flop butt patch for his outfit or a flip-flop patch for his driving suit. Maybe make some flip-flop stickers for him so he can start passing them out when he goes down to Baja to race another 1,000.
Has to be the right flip-flops, so it has to be the Quicksilver ones.
Though, working hard, man, is crazy because I remember when Eric and Bryan launched Temp Media, man, and it was a struggle to launch it. And man, what they've done, right? They've made celebrities and stars. They make those guys look good. Whether it's Ken Block, I'm sure they've done stuff for Dan Brazilian. I'm sure they've done stuff for BJ Baldwin and all the top guys, right? They're behind the scenes and they don't get the credit, right? They're, you see Ken Block doing, some gnarly stuff, but it's these guys making it look even that much better, right? I mean, it's cool, but they make it just make it look, 5 times cooler. So, man, it's pretty awesome, man. Hats off to those guys, those media guys, and nobody really understands how hard these guys work. They're grinding, in the dirt, and it's pretty nuts. So,
John Huppert just commented in saying it's a 20-year overnight success, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, that's just the way it works. But you guys love it. That's the best thing about it, right? Like
we do love it. Yeah, I mean the hustle never stops. Like it's always. There's a time where you're like, man, I really wish it would just slow down. And then when it does slow down, you're eating yourself alive because you're like, what am I doing? And that's how my brain functions, at least. I'm very much, I think I work at my best at 100 miles an hour. And, when you finally slow down and you have time to think, I think it's kind of when you eat yourself up. And for me, at least, this year it's been, the most as far as I feel like we're working on these massive projects. And we're doing really cool things, but a lot of it's like, man, like you just get in the mental side of it where you're just eating yourself alive. And you're like, what am I doing? Like, and it's not bad. It's weird. Like this year, for me personally, at least, it's kind of been there, like just trying to kind of find myself and see like, well, okay, well, where does this go now? What do we do? How do you kind of not getting stagnant and try to reinvent the wheel to be better than everybody else or provide something different, right? Like. And, on our end, like, I feel like we have obviously the most sophisticated equipment. I feel like we have some of the best people out there. And so it's really trying to, sell ourselves to these companies to try to make this stuff happen. Cause it's, it is hard. It's tough. Yeah. And as everyone knows, there's not a ton of money in off-road racing. So, we're trying to make that happen, with the Fords and all these companies coming in. That's kind of where we're trying to get our feet in the door in the commercial side. We make all our money on the commercial side realistically, and we do the off-road stuff because we just love it.
Yeah, exactly. David Vandelin just commented in down from Australia, said teamwork makes the dream work. So, yeah, we agree, man. But I think I'll probably operate more like 69 miles per hour, so I'm a little slower than B-More, like not quite as fast. My hustle is a little less strong than he is. But I agree with what he's saying, right? Like that hard work really drives you. And it goes to everything that you do. Like, I've always been impressed by your work ethic, Kyle, because you didn't even know you were going to start Vision Canopies, right? It just kind of like, I don't want to say fell into your lap. You saw a necessity for it, and you said, all right, I think people can get benefit from this by doing it better.
Yeah. And then it just kind of popped. It almost feels like it popped up. I mean, now looking at all the work I've done, didn't just pop up, but it feels like it just kind of naturally happened, which I think is the best way, and that's why I always try to be as involved with the sport as possible because that's the fuel that goes, and like B-More was saying, like just like their stuff. A lot of the main finances behind it are commercial stuff, and same thing with me. It's a lot of the main finance behind mine are commercial stuff. That's not stuff that's extremely exciting for me, so that's why I try to get back into the sport and tie it back, and always try to stay tied to the racing as much as I can with other race teams, with other people, and with my racing, with all that, just to keep the tank full, to keep on going. And keep
well, it's kind of like what Wyatt Hastings just commented in and said. He said, if you're passionate about something, nothing will stop you from achieving that, right? Like you just keep.
That is true. Yeah. You never will give up.
Right,
yeah,
right. And
exactly.
it doesn't
and failure is no option. That's the thing for us. Like, I will not fail. I think it fueled, like I said before, it's the doubters and people that said we couldn't do what we're doing, and the people that have just constantly talk shit or whatever. Like, that just fuels us to work harder. And at least for me, that's a big one for me.
Well,
negativity is just such a good fueler for me.
Yeah,
that's what happens when you're on the top, man. People talk crap, right?
Trying to get you down,
right?
One thing that I heard, Ken, you'll probably get along with this, is I heard Andy Frisella say the other day, the people that have a plan B are the people that are going to fail. You just have one plan, and you just fucking kick ass until you get that goal.
Right. I mean, and again, if you're passionate about your work, right? I mean, it's not work. So just do what you love.
Yep.
So as far as like being able to relate a little bit of the simple stuff back to our audience, Ken, like let's just say you're talking to me. I just got my first side by side. I'm going to start going out, maybe doing a little bit of desert racing or short course racing, whatever one I pick to do. Actually, let's use short course because it's a little bit more pits and stuff. Let's just say we're going to the short course races. It's going to be my first race. Do I need a professional easy up then? Or like, how do I put it in my program? Like, kind of advice can you give me to make it so that I kind of start things off on the right foot?
You know what? I think it's before you even go to the race, I think you should have a plan, right? I think you should research it. I think you should go to the races to find out what people are doing, understand what's happening, right? So you don't just go there with no information, right?
Yep.
Understand, get to understand, lap times, get to understand the rules, right? Don't go to the race just, I bought a car, I'm going to start racing, right? Don't do that. Go and educate yourself.
Yep. I agree with that 100%. And then you can get visual cues too. Say, wow, that was the best pits. I want to be like that guy. Let's just say you walk by Rob McCachran's pits or whoever it is, and you're like, dude, that's my goal. That's who I want to be. And then boil it down to what you can actually afford to do. Maybe you can afford to get a canopy right away. Maybe you can only afford the car. Maybe you can only afford one set of tires, whatever it is, and just keep building and inching your way up to that.
Absolutely. Ask questions. The racers are most of the time cool. I mean, probably 99 out of 100 racers are really cool. Yep. They'll tell you, hey, I got my canopy here. This is what I did for this, right? This is where I got my merch. They'll tell you because, again, they want to promote or pimp their sponsors and say, hey, or people that support them. So they're going to lead you in the direction. So make sure you take notes when you go to an event, right? And
that's fantastic advice right there, too. And, like, if you had somebody like me, it was my first race, and I came up and I was like, hey, you know what? I really can't afford a canopy. What do I have to do to get one? You'd say, hey, you know what? We have this racer sponsor program, or hey, you know what? Maybe we can, put our logo on the canopy, or you can give advice back to them as what can like lend a hand to what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always looking to like help people out and like figure out how we can co-brand something. And I think if someone came and say, I can't quite afford this, it's either enter the race or buy a new canopy. And that is, I love hearing that because, especially when they come to me saying like, but I offer this,
right?
I can offer, I can't afford one, but I can help you try to sell 3 of them.
Yeah. 100%.
And like, those are the people that I really like helping out. And, when I try to help out some kids, I've been trying to help some kids lately that they came to me with a plan that it's like really hardworking kids, and they seem to try to. They're not looking for a free canopy. They're looking to expand they're looking to race and help out and partner up with me, and I really like that.
Because
it goes a long way.
It's a win-win, right? It's a give and take. So you get to get some benefit from them, and they get to get some benefit from you.
Right? Yeah, I get the wheels moving. So.
Lachero just joined us. What's up, Lachero? Lachero's a big mountain bike guy. I don't know if you know who he is, but he worked on the Goats, Rob McCachran's truck for a long time, man.
Yeah.
And he's also a big Eli Tomac guy. Big Eli Tomac guy. Yeah.
Eli's a man, though.
No, he used to ride mountain bikes with John.
Okay.
John Tomac.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
what's up, Lachero? Wyatt Hastings. Yeah, it's a two-way street, dude. You're right, man. It is a two-way street.
Yeah, absolutely.
Both of these guys will tell you that they've been on both sides of the spectrum too. Ken used to talk with people, and they would give him no answers all the time. And finally, let's just say 10 years later, they need something from him. So he gives them a yes answer. They give him a yes answer. It works both ways.
It always is a two-way street. You always want, and again, try and pay it forward, right? Try and, like I said, be a great person. Try and help others, right? You never know when it's going to come back, and it's funny because, and I'm here today. We were at Pro Motocross this weekend, and, that's one of our, company accounts, Brittany Westhoff and myself, we got Social Lab Media, and we, did the promotions for that, the online promotions, and I had, some tower passes, some VIP passes. I had 2 in my pocket, and it's funny because I was walking, and I was like, and I seen, Eric and Kyle, and I was like, hey, let me, we just started chatting. I was like, here, let me give you these passes. They were for someone else, but man, these 2 were way more important than my.
Nice.
I ended up getting other people all handled, but yeah, man, it was really cool. And now I'm here today, right, and got me a free tomahawk steak, man, from that, and man, it paid off. And now I'm on the Dirt Life show. So.
Oh, look at that! So, dude, you're crossing all the T's and dotting all your I's. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so it really does work like that. And I don't want to talk too much about the marketing stuff because that's not really, Ken and I already had a show on it, but it really does benefit. And I think that you as a racer and a business owner and the way that you're giving back is relevant to the stuff that we're talking about, right? But it really means a lot to the people that do need something and that you can help with. So I'm proud of you for doing all that stuff.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad to do it. It's, I don't know. Stuff that people have helped me out in the past and stuff that I wish that people would have helped me out in the past. I try to do that as much as I can to up-and-coming racers or established racers, or there's always room to work together in this whole.
I know, I'm gonna need a canopy for my 12-year build, Explorer build.
Oh,
when the Explorer's done, we could probably talk about it.
But
that's how it works.
I don't know.
Oh, dude, if you only knew.
The funny part about it was it took Kyle about, 2.3 seconds to be able to figure out the marketing value that was in his eyes to be able to go back and tell you, yep, when it's done.
Yeah, let's talk about the.
It's been a journey.
Man, I just got done with my 5-year build of my Nova. Man, it's been a journey. It was pretty awesome. Stoked to have it done, man. So
build, by the
hyped.
way, so
Thank
sick.
You. Thank you. Yeah, we went to SEMA this last year, and man, I've been a fan and going to SEMA for many years, just supporting and getting content of other cars, and finally, we were able to be there in the Boxo booth, and it was pretty awesome to be able to,
was that like a check mark that you're like, yes,
oh man,
got it?
It was a major, monumental deal. Like I
cannot wait to feel that.
Oh man, I'm so pumped. So yeah, you're on your way, dude. You're on your way. Probably like 3 or 4.
This is the year.
Maybe 3 to 5 years, you'll be there.
No. I'm hoping this is the year.
What were you going to say we should talk about, Ken?
You know what? I wanted to talk, so branding, right? Branding and logo. So let's go ahead and go back. I'm a new racer.
Yep.
And I want to approach Kyle. My advice to them would be like, hey, and I want to get, a Vision Canopy and, sky flags and table covers. My advice, though, is work on your logo, right? Get your logo dialed in, your presentation, and at least have that to send, right? And again, just having your image and visualizing everything, whether it's your chase truck, whether it's whatever it is, like, hey, you know what? I'm going to go real big and have all these assets, right? Have everything. You can digitally render them now. Today, you can find someone that can render everything, make your vision, there, and then basically bring it to Kyle and say, okay, Kyle, here's my vision, and and Kyle says, well, I can't build you the trophy truck, and I can't, I'm not going to get you an airplane, right? Your private jet, or your semi, but hey, you know what? We can handle your canopies, we can handle your sky flags, your table covers, your blow up inflatables, all the stuff that you want to have. So I would say be prepared, right? Rather than saying, hey, Kyle, can you make me a canopy?
Right.
And then not have anything else past that, right? And I'm sure you've had many people approach you like that, companies, or, I'm going to build a T-shirt company. Well, where's your logo? Oh no.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's really important and really shows the professionalism that you're bringing and your preparedness. And so do research. get your ducks in a row and then come to me and we can figure something out.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. Like we always talk about it, just be prepared. Like no matter what, if you're going to ask for a canopy, you need to make sure that you have all your stuff there. Just like you would if you were going to the races, you'd make sure your lug nuts are tight. You'd make sure you fill the tires with air. You make sure that your car is operating and it turns on, right? Like
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And again, some advice if you want, you're like, hey, man, I got to figure out how I want to get some free canopies. Man, come to Kyle and say, hey, you know what? My business, my uncle's business needs 100 canopies. Can you hook him up? And I guarantee Kyle will get him a deal and give you a free canopy. So, right? I mean,
Absolutely, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, I got to keep the lights on. So,
absolutely.
but I try to give back as much as I can.
So again, it goes back to ROI, and
Yep.
how does Kyle win, and how can you win and Kyle win at the same time?
Yeah, totally. All right, Ken. So we're gonna go to commercial break in just a little bit here. Can you give us any stories that you remember with Kyle? Maybe when you guys were working together or doing anything together, or even maybe something from the races.
Man, it's just the wild man Cheney, dude. That's that's all I got to say.
Yeah,
The wild man.
How much time do we have?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Is that how it goes?
You know what? And I go back. One thing that I think back to, and you guys were talking about the barrel roll, right? And I think back about content, and Eric, and Bryan will attest to this, right? I'm gonna do a major stunt, okay, and I'm gonna spend the money on the film guys, right? I'm gonna have all that dialed in. Well, have a plan and have money for marketing that video, right?
Yep.
Don't say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna spend $25,000 or $50,000 on making the most epic video, and then you're like, hey, well, what's the budget to promote it so people can see it? And you're like, it's just gonna go viral,
100%.
man. Yeah. What do you mean? I need budget for promotions and marketing.
Yeah.
Again, and again, it's all about pre-promotions and marketing. Post-promotion as well. So it's again, you got to spend money. Afterwards, after
Right.
the fact, right?
Yeah,
So
100%.
it's like buying an all-wheel drive Mason Trophy truck and not having a crew, not having tires, not having spare parts, not having a semi, not having anything. Hey, you know what? I got a trophy truck, but I don't have anything else.
But
Right.
dude,
Yep.
it still looks really good in your garage. But no, you're totally right. The follow through matters a lot. And when you're talking about spending money, let's just say that I'm the new racer and I don't have that money to spend, right? Well, I can still use my network and I can still try to push it through people. I can ask other companies like my sponsors or people that know me to share it. I can ask all my friends to share it. I can call my family and ask them to
Right.
share it. And
Absolutely.
all of those things will trickle out and make it better.
Yeah, utilize your network. And again, if you can't use the guys at Temp Media, there's this thing called an iPhone.
Yeah.
Get the newest one, and then, go ahead and start off with that first, and then grow to these guys at Temp, right? But have the plan, right? And again, just make sure you just, like I said, the planning and preparation is the most important. These guys don't just show up to the film location and just say, hey, you know what? I'm just going to start shooting and turn the cameras on. These guys have a plan.
Yeah,
100%. And be
100%,
yourself.
and it's a big one.
Yeah, massive plans for you guys. And I want to mention it again. Always be yourself, guys. Always be yourself. So I know, Ken, you got a busy schedule, dude. I really appreciate you hanging out with us and throwing some knowledge out, dude. You were awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you guys for
thanks for letting me be on here with you guys.
Yeah.
I wish the live would have worked so I could put some about my people on here, but we're good. We'll try next time.
Yeah, no worries. You want to throw a shout out to anybody, B-More?
No, I just thanks for letting me be on here. I'm super stoked, and I cannot wait to, like I said, for my truck to be done so I can be cool like everybody else. And
That's how it goes.
we're getting there. So we're ahead of the Baja 500 this week, and then it's gonna be time to breathe for a little bit. We're gonna have a pretty hectic July. So
When do you guys head down to Baja?
well, I think Wednesday or Thursday. Well, I think we have a crew leaving early, and then I get there Thursday, I think. So
Okay. I think I'll probably end up seeing you guys down there too. So, all right, man. If we have,
we will be down there.
if you guys aren't too busy doing all your work and stuff, and I'm not too busy, we'll go get some tacos. Tacos
Sounds
Original is now my new favorite.
I'm in.
So, all right, homie.
Yeah.
We'll see
Well,
you
take it
later.
easy, guys. I appreciate it. All
Thank
right,
you.
take it
Thanks, man,
easy.
for coming on.
All right.
Brian.
Ken, you got any shouts outs you want to throw out before we go to commercial break?
Man, thank you for having me on. It's pretty awesome to be able to be on here. Katie Vernola, thank you. I got to check out her and Nico's shop here today, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's rad, right?
Yeah, man, it's awesome. And again, seeing Pete, and seeing Eric and Brian Moore, it's pretty awesome. And this guy right here, man, it's It's been a good day. So, and Cecil, thank you for the tomahawk steak. That was delicious.
Dude, and the chimichurri, dude. Look what I got.
Dude, you're
That's
hyped
a special
right
sauce.
now, right?
I'm so hyped, dude.
Man.
I've been in Baja for a week. That chimichurri's like new stuff for me.
You might have to split that with me.
All right, sounds good. All right, well, thanks, Ken. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back with more Dirt Life Show. All you guys on Instagram, keep hanging out.
We'll see you guys.
Hello, I'm Justin, the founder of Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy has been around for 5 years, but we have personally been tuning suspension on off-road cars and race vehicles for over 25 years. We tune between 10 and 15 cars per day, every single day of the week. Our concentration is tuning shock systems and supplying components that improve the ride quality of your car in many ways. Not only do we work on the average UTV, but we also tune suspension for race teams and professional drivers. We currently tune for over 87 race teams in Best in Desert and Score. Our clients and race teams rely on our suspension components to allow them to win races and keep them safe. Suspension is a moving target. We are always trying to hit that target with every customer that we work with. Each customer's needs can be different, and we tune our kits accordingly. Our research and development never stops. We improve our components every single day. As the industry evolves and improves, so do our parts and kits. As of right now, we have over 100 products for UTVs. So when you bring your car to us, you have the satisfaction of knowing that you have the most experience, the highest quality products, and the fact that your car is being tuned specifically to you.
The new Code Shooter from Evolution Power Sports puts the power of ECU tuning right in the palm of your hand. Available for Can-Am and Polaris, the industry's most innovative app-based ECU tuning device lets you flash your vehicle's ECU, read and reset diagnostic codes, and monitor critical live engine data, all from your smartphone. Additional Code Shooter features for Can-Am include optional dash flash, real-time monitoring of air-fuel ratio and belt temperature, and adjustable launch control for the ultimate advantage off the line. Code Shooter unleashes the full potential of your vehicle, putting you in complete control wherever Wi-Fi access or 4G cell service is available. No more waiting. No more sending in your ECU. Download, connect, flash, ride. The power of ECU tuning in the palm of your hands at evopowersports.com.
Music is a powerful force. It can turn a morning commute into an inspirational wake-up call, and a road trip into an unforgettable journey. It provides the backdrop for epic moments and makes every mile more enjoyable. At JL Audio, our love of the musical experience drives us to pursue great audio. It's not just about being loud. It's about dynamic accuracy, intricate detail, and a complete immersion in the spectrum and texture of the music and the space it inhabits. Introducing JL Audio's latest endeavor in our pursuit of great audio. A complete family of car amplifiers that combine powerful digital audio technology with exceptionally clean power, all controlled from an intuitive interface. It's our most ambitious and sophisticated project ever. VXI from JL Audio. Great audio simplified.
Zollinger Racing builds the best aftermarket products available. Products for your UTV or snowmobile, including billet radius rods, billet tie rods, billet steering knuckles, billet steering racks, alternator kits, and much more. All manufactured in the United States in-house at their headquarters in Nibley, Utah. Travis Zollinger and his team test in some of the most brutal conditions, racing in places like the Best in the Desert Mint 400, Ultra 4 King of the Hammers, UTV World Championships, and many more. Visit ZollingerRacingProducts.com and use the code DIRTLIFE to get 10% off your next purchase, and join us on social media at Zollinger Racing Products to see our products in action. Zollinger Racing, the best products, period. Finally, we got Lance from Solderweld in the studio. Thanks for coming down, bud. Hey, why don't we just record a commercial now?
Yeah, why not? So good to be here, man. It's been a lot. I've been trying to get down here forever, and I wanted to talk about the off-road kit.
Dude, I love those things. I got it in my pack.
Yeah, we're running hundreds of vehicles now running them, whether it's a UTV or some guy's got it in a backpack on his motocross. He's got everything he needs to make a fix right there on the fly, out on the trail, or in the desert, whatever it is.
Well, since I've already used one, I kind of know what to use it for, but explain what it does.
All right, so let's pull one out real quick. You've got your aluminum rods. Remember, they're rods, right? So, light torch, small torch. You can throw it in there or throw it on the rig with your flux. It decontaminates and cleans like, let's say, a radiator. You get a random rock chip runs through as you're racing. You get a rock chip in a radiator. You got to fix it right there or you're out of the race.
You can patch it up.
It's all good to go.
Yep, just like welding.
Yeah, also as well with that, you've got a brake line fix. So with your flux, you can fix a brake line, stainless steel, and then your hot block, heat absorption putty. So it keeps you from getting burned, number one, as well as keeps the heat from traveling. So it's really nice.
I've used this not even to fix anything, so that stuff works so good, man.
Listen, it's easy. It straps in nicely so that you have everything you need in one little place, and you don't have to carry a big bag in
It's like a first aid kit for your vehicle.
Yeah, Chase trucks have it as well, so that if they need to make a fix on the fly, they can get it done and get it done quick and get you back in the race.
Dude, those things are so cool. All right, so it's at Solderweld on Instagram, Facebook, and solderweld.com.
Awesome.
All right, thanks, bud.
Appreciate it.
And now back to the Dirt Life Show.
Yeah. We are back for episode 131 of the Dirt Life Show. We appreciate you guys hanging out and hanging with us tonight. Man, Steve really wants to get on with us with Limited Dream Helos. We can't, dude, because we don't have enough bandwidth, but we appreciate it. Maybe next time we can do it when we have a little bit better internet connection. But yeah, thank you guys very much. I really want to, again, say thank you to all of our armed servicemen that paid the ultimate sacrifice. Today is Memorial Day. We're all celebrating, having a good time. I know a lot of people at the lake, all having fun during the weekend and on this Monday. But we really, really want to make sure that we're giving a shout out to those people and their families. We really appreciate everything that they do to help us with our freedom in this country. So, all right, back to episode 131. We have Kyle Ahrensberg of Vision Canopies, and now we have Katie Vernola joining us. Hi, Katie.
Hey, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're stoked to have you, man. Did you like the food that was prepared by Cecil?
Yes, he always spoils us. So happy to have him come here, except, oh, man, I don't think I can make it like that again.
I know, that's a lot, right? But this chimichurri sauce, dude. All right, so when was the first time you met Kyle?
Oh, boy, maybe 10 years ago.
Woo, longtime friend.
Yeah.
Yes, a little bit. I've known his wife since high school, and we were at an off-road show, and she's like, I got this new boyfriend. He knows racing.
Whoa.
We're like, oh, everyone knows racing, right? Let's drill him, and he passed the test.
Yep.
Nice, that's cool. So I wanted to actually bring that up because it was one of the things that I had on my list is, so what's it been, over a year that you've been married to Avalon now, right?
Yeah, almost a year. September will be a year.
Oh, okay, cool. Dang, dude, it's coming out quick then.
Yeah, it's like crazy how fast it went by.
Does it mean that you have like all this pressure on you to have like a good first anniversary now?
Well, I think we're
Katie's over there saying, yep.
Absolutely, and I'm coming along.
Yeah, I think we're going to be in Crandon.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way. That'd actually be pretty fun. Are you going to go to Crandon too then, Katie?
Absolutely.
Dude, that'll be cool. And it's still on my bucket list to go too. Ms. Chapp says, hi, Katie.
Hi.
All right, so along with some of the stuff that we've been talking about, like we've been talking about self-promotion and how, Vision Canopies ties in and giving back to the off-road world and stuff like that. What are some of the things that you've done throughout your motorsports racing career that kind of align with what we've been talking about that Kyle helps with now?
A couple words that come to mind is look good, feel good, do good.
Ooh.
Something that has stuck with me along the racing years. We all want to do our absolute best out on the racetrack. However, everyone has their good days and bad days.
That's
so
true.
When you have your bad days, you want to make sure you're looking good still, because no matter what, people are always going to be taking pictures, and you just got to keep the positivity going. So if you look good out on the racetrack, look good off the racetrack, and you are confident and you're having fun and passionate about what you're doing, you attract the people that want to help you, and you help them, and it becomes a real circle the way it comes around.
It all comes together, right? Like, and I agree with that 100%. And you know what? It goes back to my dirt bike days. You could probably get along with this, Kyle. Is like, I was a little kid. You know, I think I got my first dirt bike when I was 12 or 13, right? But like, I wanted to make sure that I made it mine. Like, I wanted to put my cool stickers on it. I wanted to have the coolest outfits. Like, all of that stuff meant so much to me because I thought the exact same way Katie did. The cooler I looked, the better I felt. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just taking pride in it.
Yeah, and then you feel like you get up on the starting line. You're like, yeah, I'm the bomb. And, like, you get out there and start shredding. It's so fun like that. So I agree with that wholeheartedly. But there's a lot that comes along with that, though, right? And you have to make good decisions. And you have to associate with, you know, good companies like Kyle's company to be able to execute on all that stuff. But when you first started, you started from the ground up. And so how did you approach it?
Like you said, I truly had no background in racing whatsoever, never ridden a dirt bike, quad, still haven't. And I look into this as if anyone wants to try to do something, you want to try to do it. However, with racing, there's no entry level of, hey, let's go pretend this is a race.
Yeah.
There really isn't any of that out there. So it was very scary.
All or nothing?
A lot of failures, that's absolutely sure. However, just go out there and try. And I thought, you know, if this doesn't work out, pretend like my car's broke, pull over, and no one will ever know. And ever since then, I just kept on trying, and fails in between the way have gotten to where I had nothing. Barely afford the Razor, let alone the trailer it came on.
Dude, it's so crazy, though, right? What's up, Jeff? How are you guys? Hopefully you guys can make it back from the airport, you and Vicky. So, hi. Glad you guys are watching, enjoying the show. But, Kyle, so when you see the determination and the passion that somebody like Katie has, that's got to be like a cool attraction, because it's like, wow, I can actually see the passion in her eyes that she wants to do this so bad. Like, I want to help that.
Yeah, absolutely. And like, it's just crazy what all that brings. I mean, for Katie, I mean, she created from nothing, created the massive program she has. I mean, this race shop, I mean, her and Nico are absolute experts with Polaris vehicles and any UTV vehicle. I mean,
dude, they already taught me like 10 things I had zero ideas even existed on Razors today.
Yeah. I mean, it's just hard to believe that she came from square one at one point, because they're so knowledgeable about it. And it's just awesome because, I mean, Katie isn't just the face that shows up to race. I mean, she's out here in the shop every day working, wrenching.
Yeah, they were hustling already today too.
Yep.
That's cool that you associate with them now to be able to help your program.
Yeah, I couldn't do it without them, not even close. I mean, I came into this thing and this thing popped up on Race Desert, and the first person I call is Katie and Nico, like, should I do it?
And then, to like get a new car or something?
Yeah, to get into the whole UTV world, because I was did the truck stuff, and they came down, looked at it, and it was a good fit, and then just kind of snowballed.
Did you even think you wanted to go UTV racing or no?
Well, like the UTV stuff is always fun. I've always had them to play around in and stuff like that.
I gotta say, UTVs always be sucking people in, dude.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah, and then I did a few races with Katie, and every time I came out of the car, it was always a ton of fun.
There you go.
So,
big UTV guy over here.
Yeah, it kind of turned out that way.
Nice, dude. Well, yeah. I'm glad that you are in the UTV scene now, because it makes it so that I can watch somebody grow with their program. You're obviously doing a fantastic job. You've been Well, Katie, you're probably proud of him. He's been winning races lately, like really doing good at short course and doing well at desert now too.
I'm not gonna lie, I do tear up a little bit.
Really?
I mean, it just means a lot to see someone that has watched the sport so many years and to get into it. It's a whole nother animal. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun, but you tighten down there, your nerves start going, your blood pressure's in the air. So it's a lot more than what it looks.
Yep.
And so for him to get in the seat the couple times, I was screaming, that's for sure. I was super excited. It's not as easy as it looks.
And you were probably stoked to see everybody like pumped around you, but how did it feel for you, like when you came home with your first short course victory?
No, it felt great. The short course thing is hard.
Yeah.
It's really hard. Like
it's intense too.
It's very intense, and just how the track changes and the car changes and everything like that. So just being able to go run the car, well, for that hard, because I don't think my car had ever even finished the race before Katie and Nico laid their hands on it, like literally.
Yeah. We should kind of talk about that a little bit too. The difference between short course and desert racing too. So, like I always called short course like MMA with wheels, right? Like because you're just battling and it's so intense, and every single lap is 110%. Like I don't know what you want to call it, like level of focus and execution, because you're just wide open the whole time. And not that desert racing isn't it's just different, right? Like, and so you have to have that same level of focus, but you can dial the pace back. You can have more logistical changes. You can have more games being played, like all of these different things, right? So, I don't know, man. When I saw you win your first short course race, I was pumped, because that's a new level of driving and expectations for yourself.
Yeah. I mean, I was really pumped too, and I mean, definitely a team effort. As weird as a short course doesn't seem as much or doesn't look on the outside as much as a team effort, I think it's every bit of a team effort as desert racing or any form of racing is, just because, I mean, it takes so much to get into it, like not just the driving, but having the car run the whole time in kill mode for 20 minutes, and it was I think it was 100 degrees or something like that.
Dude, probably 100. You sneeze, you're last.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And it's probably 140 in the car. You're dead, like with just heat and exhaustion and stuff. We got to get you guys lined up with the Fluid Logic guys. They have some really cool stuff that really helps out with your body and focus and stuff like that. So
that'd be huge.
But yeah, man, Cali Boy Z-Tech says, I'm hoping to go to at least one DP4 race this season. Hope to race against Vision Canopies, dude.
Yeah, nice. More competition, the better.
Yeah, come out. I'm trying to get it so more people come out to these races. So I'm trying to,
Yeah, Ryan and Tommy do a good job with DP4.
They're fun. They're really fun. It's a lot of UTVs out there, and it's really cool that UTVs are the only thing out there. You don't have to worry about a 6,000-pound truck coming up on you.
Yeah, it takes away the stress of being out on the track with all these other vehicles. It's a good series.
And I'm a big proponent of trophy trucks. I love them, and all the big cars. But dude, they tear up the tracks and the UTVs have to go through that stuff. It's so crazy, man. Yeah. So what's some of the stuff that you guys have planned to be doing? More DP4 stuff, like short course stuff?
Yeah. I mean, we're going to do more short course stuff. I want to get out to the Midwest and try that. I just had to kind of get my feet wet out here and try to, learn a whole new form of racing.
Yep.
But going to go out to the Midwest and try to hit that and do some champ races.
We're helping with the Outlaw Series in Texas, and we're helping with the Outlaw Series coming out west, too. So you guys, it'll be awesome to see you guys come out to some of those races, too.
It's definitely a bucket list to go out there. Some of the tracks are gnarly. They look a lot of fun.
They're building a new track at Oak Hill for the Texas Series. It's like, dude, it's like chocolate cake, the dirt. Like, I might have to come out of retirement for that bad boy. It looks so cool. Like a moto track with side-by-sides, dude.
Yeah.
It's going to be so sweet.
Yeah, I'm up to all forms.
How do you think your skill levels be getting now? Like, you think you're kind of building on it, or like?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is track. I mean, we raced at Glen Helen, and I've seen too many races at Glen Helen because I've been part of the short course stuff for so long. So my confidence level on Glen Helen was definitely much higher than the Victorville.
Yeah.
But
because you have a little bit more time there, you mean?
I know the lines from watching.
Right.
Thousands or hundreds of Pro 4 races out there.
Yep, exactly.
But the car control is getting there. I want to try to practice some more, but it's only going to get there if I go out there and throw myself in with the guys who are really good. With the Midwest guys are really, really good.
They are. There's a lot of really good drivers there. I mean, and honestly, like I feel like the off-road scene, short course or desert, like everything is getting so like legitimized and tight and the battles and all this stuff. I don't know if it's Patty or Chris, but they commented in. Blaze Racing Services at DP4 is awesome. It really is a good series to race too.
Yeah,
I always
go out
suggest
there and camping, and
yeah,
it's a whole weekend of fun.
When are you going to get in the car next, Katie? Do you know?
I'm trying to get in soon here. Surgery took me back a little bit, but I'm getting ready to get back in the driver's seat here soon.
Yeah, that'll be nice to see you back in there. And plus, along the way, even if you can't get in tomorrow, you can help out with Kyle's program, and you can still be at the races, and you can still mingle with everybody and say hi. It's super cool.
Yeah, it's crazy how life things happen. One thing took me out, but Kyle said, hey, what do you think about doing this Baja 1000 race? We're like, sure, whatever, we're talking about it. No, it literally took us 2 weeks. I'm sorry, not took us. That's all we had. We would have had a lot more time. So with him, this little phone call, laughing and jokes of talking about it turned into this, and now we have, I call it the Vision Canopies Crusaders fleet here at my shop.
Nice, that's cool. I like it. But that goes back to what Ken and both Eric were saying earlier, and even Brian too, just like being a good person, right? So now you've like made these decisions, you made lifelong friends, and now you're sharing resources, and now you're sharing effort levels, and now you're like building this thing together. Like, to me, as a human being, not even being a part of your race team, I think that's fantastic because I love seeing the smiles on your guys' faces.
Oh, it makes, like you guys were talking about earlier, you're not working a day in your life if you're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
And having our friends with us definitely makes those blood, sweat, and tears. Couldn't say it any better. I mean, that's off-road racing for us. And to be able to do it with our friends, makes it a little bit better when those tough days come because, we all want to win, but things happen and we can't make it that way. But so I'm excited to get in this car soon, and I don't know. We'll have to race against each other and see what happens.
Oh, are these cars both the same? You guys going to be on the track at the same time?
I don't know. That was kind of a little bit of a thought.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Another thought. Maybe we're going to have a recap on this conversation.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We're going to have team tactics like F1 now.
Yes.
Well, they're helping each other out.
Yeah, that's what they said.
I think it's so funny, though, like how that stuff works out. And not to get too far off subject, but like, Checo having to let Max by a couple races ago, and now Checo winning now. It's like, oh, did we make the right decision, or did we shoot ourselves in the foot? Like, Red Bull has to be, like, double-checking themselves right now.
Yeah, they're doing good, though, right now. So
they are really doing good. Man, I could just see that, like, you guys battling it out for first and second place at a race. Dude, that would be so funny.
I mean, it'd be really fun. I think we'd both have a good time doing it.
Yeah, but I can guarantee, like, all of you guys are thinking, like, crap. We're going to go balls to the wall, and then who's going to work on the car on Monday?
I think Nico's the one who would be pulling his hair out. He'd be like,
probably.
Oh, just please don't break it, both of you.
That would be hilarious, man. But it would be cool to see, right? Because you guys would be like, oh, we're the team to beat, right? So
yeah, that'll be fun. But hopefully now this part of the year is when all the longer races start coming in. So up until now, it's been the ones we've done have been shorter races, so it's hard to have multiple drivers in there. But now the long races are coming on. Hopefully we'll just pick which car we want to run it in, and then just get us team up and go run it. Have Craig Spitz come out too. He's been a
cool
help. Yeah.
I think he logged on earlier. But yeah, so kind of going back on what I was asking. So Vegas to Reno maybe, or like what kind of races are you guys going to do?
Really want to do the Baja Nevada. I really like. Best in Desert's a great series, but with Legacy, I really like what they're doing, and I partner in that series as well. So I want to go out and everything that I heard from that race last year, everyone said it was one of the most fun races I've ever done.
I heard it was a super cool race too.
Yeah, so I really want to go try it. I think that'd be a fun race to go start our long races for the year.
Does that mean that you set up Vision Canopies and branding, get all your sponsors all taken care of and all happy?
Absolutely.
There we go.
We'll be in town.
Wait, hold on. Perfect. So I'm stoked to see that you guys are doing all this stuff, man. And the level of effort that you guys are putting into this program is pretty phenomenal. Like, it takes a lot to do this, right? And I know from, personal experience, like, we were operating my professional short course program out of a 3-car garage. We had, like, at one point, 6 cars in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of work to be able to do it. So, I think the most important thing for me, though, is that you guys are giving back to the community while you do it, right? You guys aren't being selfish about it. You guys are being good human beings in general.
Well, at the races, we all plan and prep to try to be there and win. Obviously, that's everyone's plan. But when we're out at the races, if something happens or, someone's having any issues, when I first started racing, I didn't know what I was doing. And when someone would come help, I would just be overwhelmed with joy, thankful if it was good advice or bad advice, taking that and trying to have anything was helpful. And so to be able to learn from all of our, mistakes, failures, and putting it into his team, our team that we've kind of created from learning all these small things that, we raced Lucas Oil Regionals when the Razor 900 first came out, and that was the head honcho. And to see how far, you've come and how far we've gone in taking these things, it's kind of crazy to see, but it's a full circle of...
Yeah, but now you're giving advice to him and you're helping escalate his program so maybe he doesn't have to step on his feet or make those same mistakes. Like, that stuff means a lot. And it's really cool that you're able to do that because you still have the same humble mentality to be able to help Kyle's program. So that means you both are going to learn together that much quicker.
Yeah, because he pushes the car really, really hard. And, I'm not as consistent as, some of these guys out there, not racing for that as long. So to get in the driver or ride with him some, then him ride with me, we learn a lot and vice versa.
Yeah, totally. Cali Boy AZ Tech says enjoys doing the AMA District 38 stuff. For his rookie year. And then John from Desert Squadron also commented in and said that you and your co-driver, I forgot what your co-driver's name was.
Craig Spitz.
Yes, Craig Spitz are fantastic, and especially because John's a big Trophy Light guy. So
Yeah. I met the whole Spitz family out in Trophy Light, and they're great family. And
good people.
Yeah, and Craig rides with me a lot and then drives in longer races with us, and he's, a great wheelman, and it's nice because I can, he tells me what to do in the car. So I just trust him completely in the car, which is...
Is he good at changing tires? It's fast.
I don't...
like tacos. I need to know all the backgrounds on this guy right here.
I don't think I've got any flats with Craig.
You better knock
maybe
on some wood, boy.
Yeah, dude, right here. Here you go.
Yeah. I may have, but maybe... I don't know. Those BFGs hold up pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good... Dude, sponsor plug. Way to go, man. Perfect timing. So actually that brings up a good point then. So you're kind of fresh in your UTV prowess and your UTV racing career, we'll call it. So what have you learned up to this point? Because we just gave a couple examples with Ken, like let's just say I was going to enter my new UTV racing program or whatever. You basically did that, right? So what are some of the things that you've learned along the way?
Pair yourself up with the right people.
Yeah.
We were, my wife and I were so lucky to have Katie and Nico as friends just going into it because they're just an encyclopedia of knowledge with these things, especially the Polarises, which that's a platform I wanted to go after.
Yep.
So it is, it's, pair yourself with the right people, number one, have a plan, number two, and just do what you got to do to get it,
Yeah. So make sure that you have the execution portion of it. Be accountable for what you guys do, even if it's a failure or a win.
Yep.
And be accountable for it. Pair yourself with the right people. And so it must feel good for you, though, too, Katie, because, that's a really cool thing. You're helping another racer in his program now.
Yeah, him saying that out loud, I'm like, wait, is that me?
And Nico's over here being like, dude, I got to work on all these cars. Katie's going to have to help me. We got a lot of work to do, girl.
It wasn't easy. Definitely took a lot of hate, a lot of negativity, being a girl, not racer, no racing background. And so I think it doesn't matter what it is.
You just have to go at it. Yeah, always go at it, forward or whatever you call it. Yeah. But it's cool that he's approaching you guys to help manage the program now. So that has to feel pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Super, super thankful. I never thought in a million years that someone would, trust me with their fleet. I barely knew what I was doing when I first started. So, yeah, it does feel really good and nice to know that all of our hard work is paying off slowly. We are in a big shed at the farm, but, hey, I'll take it. Whatever we do to go play.
So one of the things that I noticed for myself personally is over the past, I've been a racer almost my whole life, right? Started with dirt bikes and then bicycles and then side-by-sides, and then now I'm kind of doing a little bit behind the scenes, right? And so one thing that I've noticed is I get a lot of enjoyment still of doing work behind the scenes, whether it's media work or whether it's helping pre-run like I did last week, and all of these different things, right? Like I still get, like I'm passionate about it, right? Is that still line up with what you're doing when you see him being successful?
Oh, yeah. When we get in the car and he's ready to head out, I'm trying not to be in his wife's way, giving him hugs and kisses goodbye, but I'm making sure his Parker pumper's on and everything because I know what it feels like when you don't have that done. So I just have a mental checklist that's been created throughout the years of racing, and if I could do those things to help him not have to worry about those little things and just focus on getting in the car, it makes a huge difference.
Focus on the business of being heavy with the right foot.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's always not about, I did a lot of coaching with Troy Adams. He said, okay, everyone could go fast, but it's how good you could brake.
Yeah, exactly.
How good are your brakes? Everyone could go as fast as a car could go. But, so yeah, it's a lot of different things, but I don't know. I think we're doing good so far.
Yeah, I think you guys are doing good. And one thing that I noticed, especially with the newer Polaris Razors and stuff like that, especially with turbos and stuff, is not to get too technical, but like rolling speed, right? So when you let off the gas and you keep the rolling speed, so instead of letting all the way off and letting the secondary clutch disengage or engage, you can keep it going just at that little spot, and it'll never, ever disengage, so you can keep that rolling speed. Like little stuff like that always helps, man. So I'm stoked that you guys are learning all that stuff together.
Who would have thought just a barely little bit touchy? Yep. I always say be very gentle. You wouldn't think you'd be gentle with gas or brake, but
did you learn a lot of stuff like that from what they've experienced?
Yeah. I mean, it's just so much little stuff, and then they take it apart, and they're like, oh, we're hard on this or hard on that, and like, it's amazing how little stuff with the...
Quit being so aggressive, Kyle.
Yeah. Or just hitting rocks or hitting whatever, too.
Well, out here we notice a lot of people, for an example, in the trucks is you want a trail brake.
Yeah.
And, I've been really lucky and fortunate with my clutch setups that I haven't had too much failures, but just crazy to think that little adjustments, and it's really hard to explain because when you explain about the belt driven, it's kind of technical unless you really know what it's about. So it's kind of interesting.
But yeah, that's cool that you're able to share that information with.
Explain sometimes.
Yeah, it's cool that you're able to share that information with Kyle though, and it kind of puts you on the fast track to be better, right?
Yeah, totally. Because I came from a world like a truck, like the Trophy Light world, which it's a really fun platform.
Yeah, but you're pinned and you're shifting the whole time.
Yeah, you wring those things neck until it hits a rev limiter the whole time. I mean, you can't drive those things hard enough ever.
Yeah, exactly.
And they just take it. There's an overbuilt chassis with a way underpowered motor, and then these things it's a little different because the power to weight ratio, there's way more power than
they're fast.
Yeah, than you really can use or you should be using when you go into some sections.
So it depends. John Huppert just said left foot brake. Yes, of course you left foot brake, but
yes.
Dragging the brake is not very good with the CVTs. Maybe not left foot brake drag. But there is a lot of stuff that you can do that can help out. Maybe we should have a show one of these days on just technique, man. Because even just pre-running and talking with a lot of people in Baja last week, like there was so many things that I forgot that I knew until people asked me those questions. And I was like, man, that's cool. I feel cool now because I can share the expertise that I've learned over the years. It made me feel really good about it. So. And
everyone has all different opinions, so it's nice to hear someone say, oh, well, I don't drive like this because, axles usually break when you're on the gas and then you land on the air. And so everyone has different ways of doing things, and it's really interesting to see, like, oh, well, if I tried that, I thought I would break.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I shouldn't try that.
Yep.
And, maybe it will catch you. But it's still cool to see. There's totally different tips and tricks, and clutching is everything.
Yeah, 100%. But I like what you're thinking, though, too, because you can use anything even if it's a bad thing that somebody tells you, you'd be like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm not going to do that. But you remember it, right? Or if it's advice, then you can apply it to your program however you want to do it. Matty William, I think is it? Is that one of your guys' buddies?
Yes, he's from New Zealand. Hey, mate. Oh, wait, that's...
Is that how you say it? Is New Zealand, hey, mate?
I think that's Australia.
I want to go to New Zealand. So maybe he can hook us up with some passes because I want to go over to New Zealand. Yes, please. I would love Techniques episode. All right. Well, we'll think about it. Cali Boy AZ Tech. Remind me. Send me a DM right now and let me know.
It would be cool to do a technique episode on. You have a side-by-side perspective, a truck perspective, open like a Class 10 car perspective.
That would be cool, but we're gonna have to get a bunch of people because I'm only a big side-by-side guy. I know driving techniques, but I've never driven a trophy truck. I've just sat passenger.
No, it'd just be interesting to hear 4 different people talk about 4 different.
Dude, that would.
It'll be the same line, the same place in the desert, but everyone has a different perspective of looking at it. And
I feel like just pre-running in Baja, like I feel like the trophy truck guys are just completely mashed over everything, just squashing bumps.
Well, it's just crazy driving through some of that stuff, and then you hear they're like, hey, I was doing 115 or 120 through that, and you're like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Like
I was
Polaris-
thinking 35 was way too hard on my back.
These Polarises can really take you anywhere. There's not a job that's too tough. However, it doesn't matter the suspension. We're not that young anymore.
So we were doing the pre-running last week. It was kind of cool too, because like we were thinking, oh, this track's gonna be it was super rough, but like our average speed was almost 10 miles an hour quicker than what we thought it was going to be. So we were actually doing it pretty good.
And you guys did the San Felipe area?
We did both. We did about I think almost 800, 900 miles in 3 days. So
wow.
Yeah, we did a lot. So it was cool though. We saw a lot of stuff, and it was neat for me because a lot of those sections I had never been on too. So
San Felipe area was rough.
Oh God. Well, it wasn't in the rough like whoop part of it. There was some that was going down the gas lines headed back up towards the windmills and stuff. That was like pretty rough, but that was about it. So it's going to be a cool course for the Baja 500 this year. That's for sure. I wish you guys were able to go down there, but I know you guys got your program to work on.
I think we were talking about it earlier in the year, but the main one, I mean, I'd love to do 1,000 again, get the team back together. Last year it was fun, and
dude, that peninsula run is gnarly. This year, just because it's a loop, it'll be way less logistics.
My first Baja 1000.
Yeah.
They get me to do it. Little did I know it was 1,227 miles.
75 miles.
Oh, I'm sorry.
1,275.
Yeah, it was long. Like the hardest part was just staying up that whole time.
Or man, let's just say, hey, let's go drive to Cabo.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah, exactly.
You want to drive to Cabo? And
Summer
back?
Rocker says, "How about some Jeep speed love?" I don't know too much about Jeep speeds, but I love all off road.
Those guys take a beating.
Do they?
Well, it's amazing how fast those cars can be.
The Jeep speed guys?
Yeah. I think that class has been around for a long time.
I still don't know too much about it, man. So maybe I could get some education from Summer Rocker. That'd be cool.
Yeah, those cars are. I don't know. You see them out on the course, and they surprise me every time. I did not think stock looking. I mean, most aren't stock.
You got to wear a
anymore,
kidney belt?
I would hope so.
I was gonna say, man.
Yeah, but those things scoot across pretty good. But I know that class has been there for.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about the Baja 1000 that you guys did, since we're talking about Mexico racing. Like, so, how do you guys even come up with we're just gonna go down there and do it?
Rick Huseman.
Yeah, Rick Johnson.
Johnson. I'm sorry, he's gonna be upset at me for that one. But Rick
Hurricane Rick Johnson.
Yeah,
Rick and Brenda.
They were just like, you guys got to go do it.
Yeah. I've been close with them and their son Lewis for some time now, and ran into Rick, and I was actually at the UTV World after I got this car. I got it wrapped, so I put it in the booth, and he was just like,
he's a genius.
Yeah, this yours? And I'm like, yeah, I just got it. And then he's like, let's race 1,000 in it.
Oh God.
And I'm like, okay,
dude,
let me see. And then that stemmed from there. But I always wanted to do a race with Rick.
I'm like the total sourpuss when it comes. Like, if he had asked me, I'd been like, nah, shut down.
Yeah,
like, no, I can't believe that you were just like, well, maybe.
Well, it was like, I mean, the thing's fun. I mean, I got spares. Not knowing like the whole car had to be changed to be able to survive the 1,000, because it was still right after we got the car. And Rick is like Mr. Baja, like,
dude. Yeah, but still, talk about ambitious.
Yeah.
I was questioning our friendship right about then.
And
like 2 weeks to prep this car.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave us stranded, but we're still friends.
And I think the next day or 2 days after, we went and actually tested the car for the first time. And
oh my gosh, man.
And Nico and Katie came back with pages of stuff to redo on it, and
It was worth it.
Yeah, they did it, and we made the whole way down.
Well, okay, so when you guys went down there, did you guys already have a plan who was going to drive what? Like everything was all set?
I did not know that I was going to be racing the night sections. Otherwise,
oh yeah. We did it by miles, not by time.
I'm like, what? I've never raced down here. I've been fortunate to vacation, but I guess I'm one to do it. I'm sure whatever you say, boys. But
I don't want to be the one that's like a Debbie Downer, but I won't race at night. Like I just won't do it.
I probably wouldn't have been gung ho, but hey.
Dude, that's cool though. And you guys completed it.
Do?
So what section did you do, Kyle?
I did the start. Nico hopped in with me. The start to 220, 230 or something like that. And then Katie hopped in with Jesse Newton.
I just met him, so that was a great ride. He
had a nice new clean helmet. And then
he got sick.
And then they unfortunately had the part failure on the worst spot possible for the whole
entire
race.
1,275 miles.
Yeah, just 5 miles. Don't break there. And of course, so let's go there. And then so we I think it was 5 hours probably.
Where was that? Did you say on the tractor trail?
Tractor trail.
Yes, I was driving down the mountain. There goes our white and blue wheel. Like, how many white and blue wheels are there? And it was very shocking because we were just going about 100 miles an hour on the road. And I'm so thankful. I mean, not thankful, but thankful it happened where it did because it could have been much worse.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
That was such a bummer. But we got it to put together somehow, some way we did. And
so you guys got you switched 4 times? Or 3 times?
So Katie got and Jesse got it going again. They hopped back in, completed their section, and then it was Rick Johnson hopped in with Craig Spitz riding, and then they essentially finished the night out or night into the morning, so they hit all the fog, and then Craig went from the passenger seat over to the driver's seat.
Oh, he did a double stint?
Yeah,
gnarly.
Triple.
Yeah,
whoa.
he probably went straight 20 hours.
He said 22 or 23 hours. So
oh my gosh.
Craig's been a part of all my Baja 1000 failures. So I was like, Craig, well, you got to finish the race with me. We got to cross the finish line together because we've.
So you took the last stint.
Yeah, so I took the last stint as well, and he hopped back in the passenger seat for that one.
Dude, and so he's probably already been in the car for 18 and a half, 19 hours, and then you're just like, hey, you know what? We can go through this 10 miles of whoops. It's going to be fine, right? Yeah. You're not tired at all.
And and the car was tired, definitely. But then he hopped in with me.
Oh, my God.
And Craig's very, very there all the time. And
he was
blowing bubbles.
Really?
Like he was saying stuff. It's like, we're both kind of out of it, but we were saying stuff, and it was like, the hell?
It took us 36 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, all of us were.
But a lot of people, it took a long time.
Yeah, but he was saying, I think after the second one, he's like, I don't think I'm going to go ride with you. And then, he took a little break. He went, got a coffee, looked at him, and it's like, yeah, you got to cross the finish line with me.
He just knew he needed just a little bit of energy, huh?
Yeah, but so he's
a beast.
Yeah, we made it, and then, after we got a little bit of rest, it actually seemed fun.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it actually seemed fun.
Yeah.
You're like 1,100 miles into this thing, and you're like, oh, kill me now, but I got to finish.
Yeah.
Totally a love-hate. Definitely love it more.
I feel like that's like everybody in Baja, though, man. So you think you are going to do the 1,000 this year?
That's the plan, to do the 1,000 again this year.
That's cool, man.
Whatever he says.
And now you've got a little bit of expertise under your belt too.
Yeah,
no excuses.
Yeah, and having the loop race, I think will help a lot.
Spitz is going to be like, yeah, I'll do the whole thing, no problem.
I mean, he's like 20. I think he was 21, 22 hours in. So
my first session was 13 hours, and I was surprised that you guys were still my friend. So I cannot imagine. Kudos to you, Craig.
Yeah, that is pretty cool though. Hey, so not to shift gears that much, but you've driven quite a few different off-road vehicles. You've driven short course, desert. What's been one of the favorite ones that you've driven? I mean, trophy lights too.
Yeah. I mean, I've had a lot of fun in these UTVs because of the fact that you can go anywhere and like it's a really weird concept to think about where you point the wheel, the car goes.
Yeah.
Like most trucks, that's not the case
right.
that I've driven. You're chasing it. It's, the trophy light is short wheelbase or narrow, so you're always trying to find, always trying to be in the rut, one side in the rut, because you can't fit both sides in the rut. They're too narrow.
And then you have to know where the next corner is so you can swap it through.
Right. Oh, that's like driving a boat almost.
Yeah, exactly.
It kind of feels like driving a motorhome through the desert. But so like these things, the desert car, I've always had a blast in. But this short course car,
precise.
Like
oh my gosh, it is so fast. It is just a complete rocket ship.
I'm glad that you get to do both though, like short course and desert. I feel like that's a dream for a lot of kids.
Yeah. I mean that was mine.
Well, a lot of adults too.
Yeah, it's really fun now that I got the right equipment to do it and the right people to keep the equipment alive. That's like, most of us 90% there.
Yeah, exactly. What are some of the goals that you have? Because like you were talking before about the program operating, I think you're very keyed in on the marketing stuff. You understand how to present yourself. But what are some of the goals that you have maybe in the back end of the program, the racing portion of the program, anything like that over maybe the next year or so?
Yeah. Try to keep on developing the cars. I think we got really good platforms right now.
When you say developing, are you talking about like to fit more of you? To fit more your style?
Yeah. I mean, to fit more my style, to make the car faster, to make it live longer, to, do that. Explore into other new things like possibly newer models.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Try to build those and develop those.
One tip that I can give you is use your right foot more and manage the car better. But I also got a tip that I was unknowingly telling other people this in Baja is that with the Razor program or even the Yamaha YXZ, 90% of the time you're not giving it full throttle. Like if you're fully matting it, it's not going all the way. So you have to adjust all of the stuff to make sure that it's giving it full throttle. I had so many people come to me at the races and be like, why is your car faster? I have the same tune. I'm saying, are you giving it full throttle? And they go, no. And I go, okay, let's just read it real quick. And they were like, oh, it's only showing 77% throttle.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you got to make sure that you're giving it full throttle.
Yeah, these things normally don't, it's not the motor that's slowing me down on these things normally. I mean, Nico and I got the desert car up clear over 100 at the 1,000.
How is that, dude? Going 100 miles an hour in a UTV?
It was sketchy. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to do it, but it was not something that you'd want to do for a while because it was really loose.
Was it?
Yeah.
It dances.
Like skatey?
Skatey, yeah.
She's a dancer.
Yeah, it was on asphalt, and it was just, yeah, it was kind of sliding all over. But we got to clear over 100, and that's like, so these things aren't the speed wise isn't really slowing me down. It's like I need to start slowing down for the holes.
Yeah. Well, like Katie was saying, the brakes.
Yeah, I need to use the brakes.
That's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you guys have some goals and stuff that you're looking forward to in the future, because that's going to be a big part of the success of the program, right? Is to make sure that you hit your milestones and your marks.
Yeah. Hopefully I like racing. It's super fun. I'm fortunate I get to do it.
It's great to see the kids come out to the races, and the fancy canopies are really inviting with all the bright colors. It really brings, we're all out there in the dirt, but you get the kids coming over. They're excited to see all the different colors and the exciting things that we do with the, the table settings and that kind of stuff. So to be able to have the kids come out to the races and really enjoy it and say, I would love to have one of these. Because when I first started racing, I couldn't afford one. I thought, wow, you are factory. You have a canopy? Wow, that's legit.
Yep.
Because that was crazy. And you're making it more... you're able to give it make it so scary to have this big thing and be able to just come up and say, hey, I want a canopy, give the kids their colors, or like you're talking about the brand or
the prestige.
And to tell, it makes it more easier to come up to you and say, hey, I want one of these. How do I get one of these too? And so going out to the races and seeing all the people, if it's a race or it's at a car show, I think going to all these events will definitely be more fun for everyone to be able to come out and see. And
that's actually two good points to bring up with your comment. Was when I was a little kid, I would I'd be there to race a dirt bike, right? But the whole other time, I was looking and going to get stickers and like hanging out and like talking to those
free
guys.
Ice cream.
Yeah, whatever it was. Like I was so hyped on that. Like, so you're right, because it does create that attractive, area to go look at. But that's actually a good point to bring up on the other end, is you're talking about doing events and stuff, right? Like, so let's just say, I don't know, you're sponsored by Johnny's Feed Store down the street or whatever it is, right? Like, you can offer to your sponsors, hey, you know what? I'll bring my race car, or I'll bring a table and an easy up down there, and you give away stickers to all your customers and like things like that provide value back to the $500 that he gave you to go to the races that year or whatever it is.
Absolutely. And you go out to these small mom and pop shops where you get your parts from, invite them out to the races. I mean, they're the ones standing behind the tables, doing the work, giving us these parts to go build the race cars. So you I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Yep.
We go out to the store, you invite them out here, you give them stickers. We all want to go out there and have fun and play, but we got to help everyone else around there, so you could go ahead and do that.
Yeah, and plus you grow the industry, right? Like, and that's one of the last things that I wanted to say was I appreciate the stuff that Kyle's doing. I kind of brushed on it before, but he's not just doing a business to be selfish and to support his racing program. He's literally helping grow the industry, right? He's giving back. He's doing all these great things. So I think that's fantastic, man. The way that you operate and the way that you're building your business and your off-road career is pretty cool, dude.
And the prize purse at the last race we went to be able to have a big award like that at the end for all of our hard work, for you to give back at the end of the race.
Wait, tell me what happened.
Oh, at the last series, you could go ahead for the overall winner?
Yeah, the DP4 for every race overall winner, I'm giving $1,500 too.
Really?
Boom.
Yep.
Those
that's so sick. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so not only is he going out there and racing, but he's going to the events. He's supporting the people that are out there. For an example, George Lamonis, we built a lot of his cars out there, kids kicking butt. He's out the racetrack, didn't have a canopy. We helped him out. So little things like that, we try to make it all.
All right, so if you win a DP4 $1,500, if you win one of those things, go buy a canopy with that $1,500 and help build your racing program back up. So then he can turn that $1,500 and give it right back to you guys and keep recycling that money. Like, that's so cool that you're doing that, man.
And we'll take photos, posting and marketing and saying, they got a canopy. Now we're sharing it on our page. Well, other companies that want canopies, they'll be looking at his page. So it's really like a cross market kind of thing.
Yeah, so if you do help people, you probably like it when they take pictures of their canopies or their race cars and their setups and just post it on social media.
Absolutely, yeah. Content is hard to get nowadays, and like that, more content the better. And that helps me out the most is when people that buy canopies to help them out, whatever it may be, post and tag me, and I can use that content for everything else.
Yeah, exactly. That's so cool that you said that, because we were talking about that a couple shows ago, man. But it all goes back to just being a nice person, right? Like, everything goes back to that.
Goes a long way.
I appreciate everything that you guys have talked with us about. I want to do a rapid-fire Q&A, but do you guys have anything else that we should mention or throw out there? I'd like to do a giveaway contest, because I see you got a nice hat right there, man. Maybe we should do something on social media in the next week or so.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
All right. So you guys that are watching or listening to the show right now, pay attention to the social media. Kyle's got some pretty sweet swag that we can try to put together some sort of swag pack or something for some of these lucky listeners. All right. Any other shouts outs?
Well, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for coming out.
I want to thank Pete for being such a hospitality type person.
I think Pete's going to come and talk, right?
Yeah. Pete, if anybody doesn't know who Pete is, he really doesn't like being on camera, man.
He's a genius.
He is a genius, and he helped out a lot of people and kids and stuff. So
still doing it.
And thank you to all the family, friends, everybody that came out. Thanks to Cecil for doing everything. All right, so we're going to go over some rapid-fire Q&A. Katie, I think you may have answered some of these questions, but let's just pretend like it's brand new, all right?
Okay.
Let's let the ladies go first, and then, Kyle, you can go second. Tacos or hot dogs?
Tacos.
Oh, I thought somebody was going to pick. Are you going to pick hot dog?
No, I think I'll do taco.
You're going taco, too?
I'm not really a chili dog kind of gal.
Oh, okay. Finally, somebody gets it. I've been waiting for somebody to get this for I've had 131 shows. And nobody gets the hot dogs and tacos comment.
No hot diggity dog today.
Chicken or asada?
Chicken.
Asada.
Oh, difference there. All right, so on the birthday, you're going to have both, huh?
Yep, I think
if Katie's coming, you're going to have both, right?
I got both.
Or if Cecil's going, you can just ask him to bring both, man.
Yeah.
Dunes or the river?
Oh. I would like to say the river because there's the dunes in the back of Parker.
What month?
That's actually a really good question. How about right this second?
River.
You're going river? You guys are both going river?
Yeah.
Yeah. MZ Chap said he wants tacos too. Let's see here. 3-wheeler or quad?
Oh, that kind of be fun. I like a 3-wheeler.
What size?
You can pick anything you want,
them
man.
all.
This is an open platform right here. 3-wheeler or quad?
Those little 3-wheelers are pretty fun.
Yeah.
The ATC 70s?
ATC 70s.
Oh, are you the big campfire guy, like going over launching over the fire
You're in the
pit?
3-wheeler, aren't you?
I mean, it's kind of sketchy.
No, not over the fire.
Oh, dude, you could have a 200X. You could have a 250R. You could go full dune mode if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's sketchy on a 3-wheeler.
See, now he's backing
like a
out, dude.
challenge.
He's backing out. Action shots or still shots?
Ooh, I like the action.
You like the action shots, like
Yeah.
blowing berms?
Yeah, still, I mean, we can make it all perfect set up. No, raw.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree with you that there's value, but I just still picture the Hoonigan trophy truck as a still shot, with all those colors, just the aesthetics of it. If you can make it look that good standing there, just think about how good it'll look in person, right?
Yeah.
Very true.
That is-
You got me on that one.
So, but I do love action shots, man. Action shots all day too. Pizza rolls or jalapeno poppers?
Jalapeno
Yep,
poppers.
Jalapeno poppers.
What do you get? Coffee or tea?
I don't drink coffee,
Yeah.
so I'm not really a tea person, but tea and crumpets
What are you going
will
with then?
do.
Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
Okay, Mountain Dew, I'll take it. If there's a cherry in it.
Yeah.
What's your favorite drink then?
I like Dirty Shirley's.
What's that? What's a Dirty Shirley?
A
Oh, a
Shirley-
Shirley Temple with booze in it?
Surely some dirt in
Yeah.
it.
I am from the high desert.
Dang, that actually sounds pretty good though, right?
It is
Dude, we
very
had a
good.
good michelada down there in Mexico, man. Holy cow. Full custom made. All right, so what are you going with, coffee or tea?
I don't drink coffee, so it have to be tea.
You don't drink
well, what-
coffee either? Oh.
Yeah, fun fact, I've never even tasted coffee.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So all three of us, right?
Do you like coffee ice cream though?
No.
Really?
Have you tried coffee ice cream?
I mean, I've tried it,
So
but I didn't.
I do not like the taste of coffee, but coffee ice cream.
It's good.
Oh, big coffee ice cream guy.
Yeah.
So what drink are you doing though? If you just have to go buy a drink
We
at the
straight
grocery store.
do.
Oh, you're a Mountain Dew guy?
Maybe I don't know, kind of.
If you're going for a drink sponsor, who are you going to...
Oh yeah. I do like Red Bulls.
You live off of Red Bulls. How did you not think of that one?
I mean, Red Bull vodka.
Oh, okay. That sounds pretty good. That's what I should start asking people, not the kids, but start asking people what their favorite mixed drink is. All right, if you're going to order, if I'm going to the bartender and I'm making you guys a drink right now, what are you ordering? Right this second.
A
You just
John
ate a
Deere.
Tomahawk. A John? What the heck is
John
it?
Daly.
John Deere.
What the heck is a John Daly?
I
She
learned.
wants a green tractor.
No, what is this?
What is a John Daly?
It's a
Arnold Palmer with the vodka.
It's
Oh, it is?
Arnold Palmer. Yeah, vodka.
Call it John Deere, though. It's called John Daly, by the way. I
That's a
learned that from
Victorville
your
John
friend.
Daly. John Deere.
So, all right, if I'm the bartender, what do you order?
I'll do a Red Bull vodka right now.
Dang, dude. Right now. I want it right now. Favorite movie?
I just saw Top Gun yesterday.
No way. You saw the new one?
And I cried. I was screaming. It was amazing. It was so good. I cry at everything.
So
but
I
that
heard
was really good.
when we were down there, I forgot who told me. It was one of the guys that we were pre-running with was saying that that they learned how to fly those jets themselves. The actors did.
Wow.
They took all the time, like a year or whatever it was, time to be able to fly them
How
themselves.
about the time, how the G-forces, it pulls you back. I mean,
Well, I don't know even if it's true. I might be saying something wrong here, but that's what they told me, and I'm
Wow.
like, no freaking way. That is so badass.
I'd like to look into that because that would be unbelievable.
I want to see that movie. So how do I go watch it then? You can go on Netflix or something?
Kick it old school, go to the movies.
Oh.
Get some popcorn.
All right, favorite movie.
I I mean, Christmas Vacation, you can't go wrong with that.
Ooh, that's a good one too. I thought you might have said Home Alone, and I was gonna be like, ew.
No, I mean, Christmas Vacation, you can watch any time of the year.
Christmas Vacation is good. That's not the one where Nick Papagiorgio from Yuma, Arizona, is it?
No, that's Vegas Vacation.
Oh, that's it.
That's top 5 for sure, though.
That's top 5. Okay, Instagram or Facebook?
I catch myself looking at Instagram more, but I like Facebook because of the marketplace.
Oh, yeah.
Go
See,
shopping.
people already know
man.
Chevy Chase is Kyle's. They did do all the flight training, but the actors did not fly it themselves. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
That's
Hey,
still
that's
so
still
intense.
fascinating.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like, do you think you guys could handle that?
I would like to try.
Okay, so fun fact. We were at Wild Horse Pass, and I had my tracker on. It's called a Lit Pro, and we were measuring GPS and G forces and all this stuff on course, right? So that we could do the ghost mapping and all that stuff around the track. The most G forces that I ever pulled going into turn 1 in a Yamaha Wagsy, a side-by-side, was something like 16 or 17 Gs going into the first turn at Wild Horse Pass. Could you imagine that? It was only for like 0.3 seconds or something like that, but it hit that amount of G forces, like in a short course car.
What are those?
That's why we keep doing it.
Those jets. Those things they get way up there, don't they?
No, this is like on par with that. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, like crazy. So
they have to wear like special suits and stuff like that to keep their blood where it's supposed to be.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, like those Red Bull jets and all that stuff.
Yeah,
the air races.
Heart monitors.
Yeah, like it was crazy though for me to see those numbers. I was like, no way. But like the jet guys, they're like sustained. Like that'll like for us, it was such a split second that your body doesn't even know what happened.
Okay.
So let's see here. So could you imagine like a Pro 4?
Yeah.
Like we're just in these little UTVs. So
Yeah.
If you had one superpower, Katie hasn't answered this. What would it be?
To fly.
Everybody picks flying.
I have birds.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Bias.
So yeah,
I go fly with them. That sounds horrible.
There you go.
Anyway.
Co-pilot Mafia said he is from Yuma. Do you know Nick Papagiorgio? All right, so what are you picking as your superpower then?
To never get tired.
Ooh, big Red Bull guy, big superpower guy. Dang, man. You just want to stay awake and just be getting stuff done all the time?
Me.
Yeah. Do you get texts from him at like 11:30 at night being like, hey, I got an idea. Want to hear it?
No, but the other day when we was like, hey, I saw a car for sale. What do you think about that? I'm like, we just got home from the race. So I guess kind of.
Yeah. It never dies. Okay, actually, that's a question that I have that's not on the rapid fire Q&A is progression of the team. Like when you guys are done with a race, do you guys do like a race debrief? Because I know like every drive home is 3 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours, whatever it is. Like I always wrote down everything bad and everything good that we could do to improve.
We do that between my husband and I on the vehicles 100% of what we saw, what we would like to change, some things that we really like that we do not want to change, and make a note of that as well. I mean, between the two of us, I mean, I kind of feel like, tell me if I'm wrong, but I kind of feel like I know when he feels like something's off, or I could kind of just tell. I feel like just...
and I'm trying to get better at feedback. So, like, it's cool, like, we're trying stuff with the cars, and, like this last race, just felt it massively, like, a big change. So it was cool because I got to, like, finally say, like, oh, man, that's the feeling, like, I've been wanting, you know, that change you did, just the feeling I've been wanting, it, like, you hit it right on the, nail right on the head. So, like, I'm trying to get better with feedback, but I'm not great with it.
Yeah. Do you guys use data to help with that feedback, like video or actual data from the car?
Yeah, we kind of keep a book or a log together. Pretty much that the racetrack and the clutch setups, the gear setups. When I used to race Pro Light, for example, used to write all those things down, and then as well include in the photos. Sometimes you could see when the tires are folding over. Add or take out air pressure. So we include the photos and the videos because that does a lot of explaining to the things that we're writing down. And so I try to, every race has its own little booklet. And so that way I could go back at Glen Helen, hey, we ran this clutch setup. This was our tire pressure. I mean, just those little kinds of things.
And you could even make little tiny changes against that because depending on how the track conditions are.
And everyone, you know, my driving, maybe a little bit different than his driving style. So we got to take into consideration, I may drive in a little bit harder, but he picks it up a lot more faster than I do.
And you probably learned a lot, Kyle, from like Adrian's program and things like that, like on how to be able to operate too, right?
Yeah, and a lot of Adrian's guys too. He has really good guys on his car that are, extremely knowledgeable, and I've been lucky enough to kind of use his guys on some of my racing coming out there in the driving data portion. There's Chris Hatfield that works for him that is into karting, or he does not just into karting, but he coaches. Kind of like what Troy Adams does. I mean,
he's great with line choices.
Yeah, so he can break the whole course down into 5 or 6 different sections. So it's like, hey, you're gaining a little bit here, but you're losing double in this next turn.
Yep.
So I mean that's really, really helpful. And then also I'm a big fan of trying to get as many people in driving my cars as possible, because I'm not great at feedback, but having Nico go drive it and Katie go drive it and all these people go drive it so I'm just not
I have experience.
Yeah, I'm just not thinking I'm feeling something. It's confirmed that yes, I am feeling something, or I'm not feeling something,
Well, if your seat's not too far forward, I'll help you out too.
Yeah. That one has got an adjuster on it.
Perfect. Netflix or YouTube?
Oh, Netflix.
I like YouTube because I like to watch music videos.
Oh, perfect. But you get stuck in the wicked ring and just all of a sudden you're like, what? How did I get here?
Or I'm like, why do I know the words to this song?
It's like the weirdest song and you know the words to it?
Yeah.
Videos or photos?
Does that go along with my action shots, I guess?
Kind of, but I mean, videos and photos are totally different though, because
photos could tell 1,000 words and you just don't know what it's saying because it's not moving. So maybe that one.
I'm still waiting for somebody to be like, reels.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah. But so photos or videos for you?
I like videos.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of a solid photo because like Katie said, it says so many things in one photo, right? But I think as far as utilizing social media for what it is and what it needs to be used for, videos are really taking over.
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Most memorable race. What was your most memorable race, Katie?
Definitely would be the race where I won my Perseverance Award back here. It was the UTV World Championships, and I won the award.
What was it, 17 or 18, I think?
Oh, God.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think so. Good call on that one. But yeah, I won the Warfighter Made Perseverance Award, and that.
Thanks to all the boys at Warfighter Made on this Memorial Day. Got my hat on, and
yes.
Katie's talking about the Perseverance Award.
Yes. So that race was very important to me because the Perseverance Award from Warfighter Made doesn't matter what you go through, doesn't matter the struggles, doesn't matter if you feel good or not. I rolled down a cliff, for an example, and I tried to push my car back over. And luckily, I was thankful to have walked away from that incident. Obviously, we've learned a lot now through racing. But I somehow finished that race. So, long story,
We're all so proud of you, too.
Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. I was the very last person out on the entire race course, and I don't know why. Never part of my mind wasn't leaving my car there and getting it towed off an option. Yeah. I don't know what happened or what it was. That not finishing was just not even in my head. I didn't even think that wasn't even an option. So to me, just to do what I felt was right, and I'm getting awarded for it.
That's super cool, though. Yeah, and you were just like, oh, I got to get out of here.
I just, after that long race, I wanted to be done, but it's no different than everyone that's fighting for our country. They have
never give up.
Yeah, never give up, and the bad days usually outweigh the good days, battling. So, long story, I know, but that is definitely my most favorable race and the meaning behind it.
Yeah. Totally, and that what Rob always tells everybody, it's the best award that you don't want to win that you can win.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So crazy.
Absolutely.
And I know, Kyle, it's your show, but you're sitting next to 2 Perseverance Award winners, buddy. So,
nice,
I mean.
They don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't win that award.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. What was the question? Oh, your most memorable race, Kyle.
Most memorable race, I would.
Are we talking like UTVs? Are we talking trophy lights? Or maybe even
like,
just as or even one of the races that you were helping with, like with Adrian or somebody?
Yeah, I mean, probably my most memorable that sticks out in my head. I guess there's. I mean, Baja 1000 was great because finally got it across the line and on that long one. But in 2016 or 17, the first year they brought Prump back in the trophy light, and it was memorable, not in a good way. But I think I got 8 flat tires.
8
flat tires on it.
What were you doing? Just
right?
driving over nails or like
No,
what?
I mean, everyone in the trophy light class was getting these flat, and we weren't even popping the tires; we were bending the wheels.
Holy smokes!
Yeah, and we would be driving through the silt, and you had to keep so much momentum going through the silt. You'd be hitting these rocks that you didn't even see.
Inside, yeah.
And the next thing you know, I got flat, and another flat, and Jason Duncan was riding with me, and I felt so bad because it was hot, and he had to change 8 flat tires on the course.
That's
of
insane.
A 250 mile or
That's a good
220 mile
friend.
race.
I jumped out and walked away.
I know.
See ya.
It was
After the
brutal.
race, was he like, "Gosh, dang it"?
Oh man, I'm surprised he talks to me still. Yeah, like he. Yeah, I think it was 8 flats. I know we ran out of between myself and Todd Jackson. We ran out of spares, and there was a car. I had 2 flat tires, and there was a car rolled over. A trophy light rolled over on the course that had the motor was gone, and they were like, "If you flip, or can you flip me over?" And I was like, "I'll flip you over, but I need one of your spares."
Whoa,
Yeah, so
making
Yeah,
deals.
we made a deal. I got his spare. We flipped him over, and
Business
then I
meeting.
only had to go another 20 miles on 1 flat tire. Yeah, it was just brutal. When I finished the race, I had a different color wheel on every corner.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That is a pretty memorable race.
Yeah.
I would like to forget that though if I was you.
Yeah,
probably.
like, I haven't been a fan of ever wanting to go back to Prump since.
Dude, that's crazy. Oh, favorite snack. And were you like, well, okay, let's do favorite snack in general and then favorite snack driving across the country. Because those are 2 different times, right? Because you walk into like a Love's truck stop and you're like, oh my God, that looks delicious. And you never would have thought it before.
My go-to is hot Cheetos with lime.
Whoa, that's a good one.
And
What if you're in Oklahoma driving to Wheatland, Missouri?
cheese curds.
There you go.
Oh, wait,
See, I
is
told
that
you.
Do they offer that at the gas
Yeah, that's a
station?
perfect snack. Yeah.
Cheese curds.
I
for
can
him,
feel like
too.
Kyle's just going to be like, yeah, Red Bull vodka.
No, I probably
Oh,
like.
you like
probably-
Funyuns and Skittles.
Yeah, Funyuns and Skittles. Like Skittles short term, Funyuns for driving across the country.
The lime.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
lime flavor.
perfect. Let's see here. Oh, Supercross or motocross?
Supercross.
Yeah, like I went to the that was the first motocross race I went to last weekend.
That's the first one you've
like,
went
in
to?
person.
No way.
And I was blown away on how sketchy those guys are. Like
They're
how
gnarly.
fast
Yeah.
So seeing that in person, I would say live to live motocross was pretty cool.
Way gnarlier, yeah.
I'm biased, I haven't been.
on
Less technical.
on TV, Supercross is definitely more covered. But like those guys were hitting those ruts at full speed. You just see him coming in, you're like, oh no, there's no way this guy's got it.
Yeah, like how is it even
And then
possible?
somehow he gets through it and lands perfect and keeps on going. It's like, oh my gosh, and that's every lap.
Yep, every single lap.
Yeah.
That's why dirt bike guys do so well in 4-wheel racing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're consistent.
Well, and they think so quickly too.
Yeah.
The visual receptors in your brain. I did all the brain studies on this stuff. What other form of racing would you like to try?
I like to go rally racing.
Yeah, rally racing is
Yes,
good. Andy
I wanna do
McMillan
it
was talking
so
about
bad.
it too. That's
Definitely my bucket list. I bought a Subaru just to learn stick, just so I could try to get my hands wet in it.
What do you
And
think? You think it's good?
It was so much fun, but I broke my steering rack first
crap.
donut out here on the farm. But I don't think I was supposed to do that at the farm. But yeah, that's definitely a bucket list thing.
That would be super cool. What about you, Kyle?
I think rally racing would be really fun. Yeah.
What about if you can't pick rally racing since she already picked it?
Probably those what's it called the circle track cars.
Sprint cars or
Like
micro sprint?
maybe modified the
Late
single
models.
speed
The midgets?
midgets. That would be pretty cool.
Let's see here. What if speedboat or dragster?
Speedboat.
Yeah, speedboat.
Oh,
yeah,
wait.
dude. You guys are big lake guys right now.
Well, we did
Hot.
go to Havasu recently and was spoiled, so
Yeah.
All right, we got one last question for the whole night. This is the most important
Dun, dun,
question.
dun.
Chips and guacamole or French fries and ketchup?
chips and guacamole, duh.
All day.
I make great guacamole, by the way.
We're going to have a guac making contest then.
Done.
All right, what are you going?
Depends if the guacamole has onions in it.
Yeah, I hate onions in
Yeah, if it
guacamole.
has onions in it, I have to have ketchup and fries. But if no onions,
Yeah,
go
throw out.
guacamole.
Mine doesn't have onions.
Yeah.
So if this is a competition and Kyle's our judge, I'm probably going to win.
Sorry, I like onions.
There you go.
Do you like onions? I do.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys taking the time and obviously inviting us in to hang out at the shop. I don't know what the technical term is for the shop. Katie's shop, Vision
Katie's
shop,
shop.
whatever it is. There's a lot of action that gets Pete's shop. There's a lot of action and a lot of good things that come out of this this shop here, and you guys have a good facility here. Even more so, though, the thing that I appreciate the most is the vibe that you guys are laying out. You guys are giving back. You guys are working hard. You guys are doing the things the right way. So I really appreciate that because that makes everybody grow. It makes the whole sport grow. It makes the whole industry grow. And there's nothing else more that could be wanted, man. So keep doing what you guys are doing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Same to you. I mean, you do it every week, at least every week. You know.
Yeah.
You're out here bouncing all around,
I try.
all over the country.
Well, I just want to say for anyone that is watching these, don't be hesitant to ask any questions on my social media, Vision Canopies or KDV Racing. We all didn't learn this overnight. So if anyone has any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I always try to help someone else out and try to keep it full circle. So thanks for watching us and thanks for taking the time. And
Yeah. That was a really good thing to say, too, that offering that, because that means a lot to all these people.
I mean, it's scary who's, walking up to a I'm not saying I'm a big team, but walking up to a big team or credible sources, it's intimidating. So.
Yeah, but it doesn't even matter the level of expertise. I learned a bunch from you guys today.
And I learned so much from you, the radio stuff at the regional races back in the day. So,
that was mostly Bryan, probably.
Hey, I was giving you some kudos, too. Hi, Bryan.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so, like I said, keep doing the good work that you guys are doing, but throw some shout-outs for the people that are helping you with your program or the people that have helped you do it, too.
Yeah, I mean, again, Katie, Nico, KDB Racing, Katie Speed Shop, Pete, he's always got his head in there whenever anyone has questions. Vision Wheel, they're a big help out. Impact Safety, BF Goodrich Tires, Vision Canopy. I mean, I have to, definitely have to thank that for letting me do what I do. George for coming out here and doing this. Appreciate it. And
big thanks to Cecil, too,
yeah,
for the massive tomahawks.
Cecil, I mean, I've never tasted a mediocre meal ever from that guy. That guy,
Dude, so good. Yeah, so if you guys
tends.
need any, good food, first call my sister because she's doing stuff in Los Angeles, so hit her up if you live up there. But then call Cecil if you're down here in the 951.
Yeah.
Share the food love around.
So thank you guys very much. And John Lewis also said from Desert Squadron also said, thanks, Katie, for lending that, fact out that people can contact you because there's not a lot of people that do that. So
yes.
that's why you guys are doing so well. All right, so next week's show, we're going to have a Baja 500 recap. I'm sure you guys are going to tune into that one.
Absolutely.
Of course.
So that'll be a fun show to have. We'll probably be down there if you guys are at Tech and Contingency. We'll probably see you guys on Friday. I think we're going to head down there on Thursday. And if you guys want to get any deals, you can always go to thedirtlifeshow.com and hit the sponsor deals button, and you guys can go. Actually, you guys can even learn how to get sponsored over there too. And you can get deals from any of the people that support us that are willing to help you guys out too. We also have a sponsorship summit coming on June 17th, and that's something that you can sign up for. We're going to post the affiliate link. We already did as well on the Dirt Life Show Instagram page, but you can check that out and go sign up for it. That's going to be a whole gamut of things like similar to what we talked about today on how to get your marketing and sponsorship stuff lined up for your program. So please check that out. That's something that Alex Stryler's putting on, and he's a fantastic resource to have as well. So we really appreciate everybody that hung out with us tonight. I really appreciate all the guys that came on. Eric, B-More, Ken Johnson, and both of you guys too. So thank you, Katie, and thank you, Kyle. We really appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for tuning in with us tonight. We will see you guys next week.
KDV Racing.
There you
Booyah.
Good night.
Thanks for listening to The Dirt Life Show. See you next week.